Yes, I'm typing it all down.
Kia, clear, spilling tea, no fear, no fear. They talk loud, but I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. I don't lies right here. Spilling tea, no fear. I'm still here. Da 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 da. Spilling tea, no sugar, no fear. They talk loud, but I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk lives right here. Yeah. Spilling tea, no sugar, no fear. I'm still here, no fear, but I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk lives right here. Yeah. Make sure you subscribe to Lakeysha Keysha, my dear. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'm listening. Go on. Yes, I'm typing it all down.
Kia, clear, spilling tea, no fear, no fear. They talk loud, but I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. I don't lies right here. Spilling tea, no fear. I'm still here. Da 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 da. Spilling tea, no sugar, no fear. They talk loud, but I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk lives right here. Yeah. Spilling tea, no sugar, no fear. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk lives right here. Yeah. Make sure you subscribe to Lakeysha Keysha, my dear. I'm still here, no fear, but I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk lives right here.
Stretch words like
Spilling tea, no sugar, no fear. Make sure you subscribe to the Lakeysha Keysha channel.
Yeah, yeah.
Goodness, what's going on? I'm just messing stuff all the way up here. Give me a minute. How is everybody doing? I'm up here pushing all type of shit. Don't know what the hell I'm doing. Half tired. I stayed up really late last night, and I'm one of those folks that need to go to bed. If I don't go to sleep, everything is wrong, and everything is wrong, y'all. So how's everybody doing in the chat? We gonna talk about Dr. Cheyenne, Cheyenne Bryant. It's just in my head, Dr. Cheyenne. Y'all, this lady going to jail. I believe that she's going to jail. Now, I came across a video, and in my soul, I said, y'all know how things happen, and you be like, this seems criminal. This woman is going to go to jail. If she don't go to jail, she's going to be charged with something. Have you guys ever heard of wire fraud? I've heard people talk about wire fraud. Thank you. I think I look a mess. I've been up to, somebody said I look nice. Thank you. I look a mess. I've been up to 4 o'clock, guys. I am creating some lotion. And baby, when I tell you experimenting and doing all these different things, I've mixed it a few times. So now I have my one good one, but I still have to continue doing it. So I'm tired. But let me tell y'all what, wait a minute. Let me tell y'all, give me a second. I didn't know what wire fraud was, okay? People been talking about this lady has committed wire fraud. And I'm like, well, what the hell is that? Let me show y'all a video. This lady was saying that, you know, Cheyenne Bryant, I keep saying Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. And also somebody said in the chat, why do you keep referring to her as Dr. Cheyenne? The number one reason why I say Dr. Cheyenne, because I want you guys to know who I'm speaking of. We know she's not a doctor. So please, by me calling her doctor, I mean, that doesn't mean that I think that she is a doctor. I simply say it so that you guys can know who I'm talking about. So hopefully that answers those questions. Well, again, I think this lady is going to get indicted on something. And I honestly believe this lady has a serious mental illness. Her reactions to everything that has happened is, to me, seeming like she's enjoying the attention, but then making it seem like folks is jealous of her when we don't want to be a therapist. That's why, you know, we didn't go to school for being, you know, wanting to be a therapist. We also didn't come online lying about being a therapist. So, you know, there's a video out here that I want to share with you guys. And this lady is actually onto something. What she says is that what this woman has done is she's committed wire fraud. And at first I was like, what she means she committed wire fraud? So I had to look it up. And we're going to go over what the definition of wire fraud is. Wire fraud is simply, it's so honestly, I thought wire fraud was basically you stealing people money. No. Wire fraud is me intentionally. So let's say I tell you I'm a therapist and I'm really not, and you pay for my services based on you saying that you were a therapist. That is wire fraud, y'all. Did y'all know that? I did not know that. So when this woman goes into breaking it down and she says this lady is going to be charged with wire fraud, she actually, let me drop down at the bottom. I want you guys to actually be able to see it. You see this code that she's referencing? She says 18 USC 1343. I went and brought that up, and this is real, truly, it's facts. So what it says is, it basically says it says wire fraud is a federal crime that occurs when someone uses electronic communications such as the internet, email, text messages, or a phone call to intentionally deceive and defraud someone else of money or property. Deceive means you are not a therapist. You are telling people you are a therapist. You deceive people. And when I saw this, I was like, oh shit. I didn't know what wire fraud was. I thought it was something else. But if you intentionally deceive by saying you're a doctor and you ain't, that is wire fraud. Did y'all know that? And please, guys, I would appreciate it if you can like the video. That is how we get paid, okay? I mean, it ain't costing you nothing to like the video. Please go ahead and do that. I appreciate you in advance. So did y'all know that? I didn't know that. So when I saw this video, I had to go look it up myself. If you tell someone you are a profession, like you have a license, and therefore, remember I said when I saw her, I was like, oh, I should check her out. I said I should check her out because she deceived me too in the beginning. But let's get into what this TikToker lady is saying.
Cheyenne Bryant is committing wire fraud, in my opinion. I wasn't going to make a video about this until I just watched a very reasonable interviewer asking her, why don't you show the proof? She says what she says. And then she says, okay, then why don't you just drop doctor? And she says what she says. And I'm here to answer to her. Drop the doctor or provide proof. because what you're doing is wire fraud. And each instance is punishable by up to 20 years in federal prison.
So what that means, each time that she has gotten somebody to go to her website, it's wire fraud. This is serious. Now, when I said she was going to jail, I mean, I didn't know the particular law that she had broke. I'm not a lawyer, but I do got common sense. I'm like, okay, this is definitely something. I knew something illegal was happening. I just wasn't sure exactly what it was. This is why I said I need to go to law school, because if I went to law school, I would know the specific law. So this law, this 18 U.S.C. 1343, is definitely wire fraud.
And an instance is not your website. It's not the one website and that's one count. Each time a person hires you because you induced them to by calling yourself a doctor and a psychology expert when you are neither of those things, each time someone hired you is a count of wire fraud. 20 years each. For anyone who doesn't know, this is Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, okay? She's holding herself out as a doctor, and up there it also says doctor. Dr. Cheyenne Bryant is a psychology expert, renowned life coach, co-producer of blah, blah, blah. She goes on to say that she is a PhD and has multiple degrees. When this whole thing has exploded, people...
She says she's a PhD. Do you guys see how this lady has deceived the public? Ma'am, you are lying saying you have a PhD that you do not have. How could I have a PhD and not know that I have a PhD? This was all a lie. She deceived the public.
People are like, oh, wait a second, you only offer life coaching. And she says, well, yeah, I don't hold any licenses. I don't hold any mental health professional licenses because I don't take insurance. And you only need that if you're going to take insurance. I think that she's playing a very careful game of like not technically calling herself a licensed mental health professional. Okay. So,
and see, this TikToker, I think she missed some videos because she actually did call herself. This is how you know this lady is lying. She'll say she's licensed and then she'll say she didn't renew her license. So I believe the lie that she has continued to tell now is she was licensed, but she decided not to renew. But still, you're lying, ma'am, because you were never licensed.
She's very clear that she's not licensed, but she is holding herself out otherwise to be a mental health doctor. She is insinuating that she is a doctor of psychology, among other things, because she has multiple. People are like getting real skeptical, and they're like, where's your dissertation? I would love to see your dissertation. Can't find your dissertation online. She doesn't know where her dissertation is. The thing that people live, breathe, eat, sacrifice themselves on the altar of, she has no idea where it is. Okay. So then they're like, all right, so let's see your degrees. And she's like,
okay, guys, we got 400 people watching. I know y'all can give me some more likes. I mean, do y'all know how to like the video? Like the video, folks. Thank you.
Well, I went to this school, 𝐟𝐸&x, and it closed down. And so then people are like, I went there. There's a third party that holds the transcripts. You can order your transcript. So she says she went to that third party, and they only hold those for 2 years. So the entire internet's like, I went there 5 years ago. I went there 10 years ago. I went there 15 years ago. And here I am on the internet ordering my transcript right now. And now she's just saying she doesn't have to. She doesn't have to prove it to anyone because she knows who she is and she knows what she's done. Here's the clip that I just watched that made me have to answer. I had to answer.
I've earned the title. I have multiple degrees, and I'm not going to prove anything to anybody. My obedience is to God, not to people. And so as long as I'm in his will and I'm serving and I'm doing his word, my sheep will know my voice, even the sheep in wolf clothing. That is not my battle.
That's
his.
The questions that are out there, why not provide the proof of your degree? Why not?
Well, a couple of things, right? I have multiple degrees. And my thing is that my proof isn't something that I have to prove to individuals. My proof is already within my credentials, my degrees, and also more than just my titles. It's in how effective I've been.
Why don't you show proof? I don't have to show proof because my proof is with my degrees. So then show the degrees. Anyway, fast forward at the end of this little clip, there's like a lot of talking in between. The interviewer says, okay, then why don't you just drop doctor from your website? Just drop doctor. And she says the exact same thing. Because here's the thing. I have multiple degrees. Babe, I am telling you, why not drop doctor? Why not show the proof? Because federal charges, okay? Because wire fraud.
So I like that comment that young, is it young, tall, I850CL, right? I'm going to show y'all another clip. So I don't know if that entertainment angle is going to work when somebody else that went to see her told her that she was dealing with PTSD. You don't play with nobody's mental health when they said they had dealt with PTSD and had, now I could be wrong. Y'all correct me if I'm in, correct me in the chat. But the lady also said she had 2 attempts of unaliving herself. Yeah, that ain't entertainment. So that ain't gonna work. That entertainment shit is not going to work. Entertainment will work for like what I'm doing. You cannot take yourself around on everybody's platform, making it seem that you have a PhD and you don't. Come on now. That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work.
Okay, because I have been watching the Real Housewives franchises for long enough to know that there are people, feds, who are watching because their loved one watches and they're, you know, they're on social media and something seems fishy. Yeah, what is the business of that one's husband? What does that guy do? That seems fishy. They're flaunting way too much.
Exactly. Somebody pointed out in the chat, she would have had to state that it was for entertainment purposes only. Even stating something is for entertainment purposes, the court don't give a damn about that. Okay? Entertainment purposes, ma'am, you are going around here presenting yourself as, okay, listen, if you want to be a doctor or say you have a PhD, that's fine. But you are dealing with people who have mental health. They're also saying that this lady that said that, and I'm not going to say the lady said, because the lady provided proof that she actually went to her. She provided proof that she actually paid her. They're saying that that woman went to that therapy session and all this fake ass doctor was trying to do was sell her more bullshit. That lady allegedly said, because I didn't talk to her, that that woman was saying that she is, what is that word she keeps saying? Basically, blaming her for her own mental health. Oh, telling her she was low. What's that word that she keeps saying? Low, whatever, low vibration or some shit. So how does somebody book an appointment with you at their lowest where they need help? Now, I know some people put in the chat, the people that went to her and paid $350 were just as crazy. Let me make sure y'all understand. I'm at the age in my life, if I have to pay for peace to see a doctor for my mental health, I would pay. So the people that's paying, I don't think it's anything wrong with them. The fact that she deceived and lied, okay? Because, you know, some people are, you know, they care about their mental health. I'm one of them. So I would pay $350 if I felt like I was going to get the quality service. I don't know if I share it with you all, but I had a few therapists and I had to get rid of them. Now the one that I got now is perfect. Now, let's say she says she don't accept insurance and I had to pay. I would pay because mental health is important to some people. But the fact of the matter is, you can't say that this was for entertainment purposes when people telling you that they tried to take themselves out of here. What is entertainment? What is entertaining about that? That lady is also saying that after she left this woman, that she felt worse. She felt worse. So she was in a worse situation after seeing a therapist. What if that lady would have went home and unalived herself? What if she would have did that? No, I mean, come on now. This isn't right. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. New beginning mind spot. Thank you so much for the super chat. I definitely appreciate it. So what if that lady would have went home, and unalived herself? This is serious. Like, you cannot say this is for entertainment purposes. Come on now, you're dealing with people in their lives. I mean, I have reached out to therapists when I was, starting my therapist journey, and they would say, I can't take anybody, but they will give me another name. You are sitting here trying to offer therapy to somebody that's in a situation where they may even need a psychiatrist, which is something that you totally are not qualified to do, because a psychiatrist prescribes the medication. If a person is telling you that they made several attempts to unalive themselves, you needed to stop whatever you were doing. Make sure you referred them to somebody that can get them in right away. But you're trying to upsell these folks, trying to get more money. This lady needs to be arrested. If not arrested, so I'm going to show you guys why I say that she needs to be arrested, because she has no accountability. She's still making videos talking about people are miserable and people are jealous. What kind of, jealous of what? These were vulnerable people that came to you for help. And now all of a sudden, you making jokes and making videos as if these people are stupid and they're dumb because you took no accountability for what you did. Yeah, that's not fair.
Watch here. Gotta look into it. And then the next thing you know, there's federal charges against them. It is not a secret that they absolutely get their interest piqued by potential federal crimes being committed by just like observing things in the world. And so there's a good chance, Cheyenne Bryant, that there's a Fed or the loved one of a Fed who has been served up this content like I have about this controversy. And someone's going to look into it. And either they're going to find out that you don't have those degrees, or they'll find out that you do. But it might be a good idea to nip it in the bud before it gets anywhere and just show the proof if you have it. And if you don't have it, I would drop the doctor from your website, from your podcast, from anywhere else that you might be holding yourself out to be a doctor while simultaneously taking clients for life coaching. On the same website that you advertise and make available for purchase your life coaching packages, you are holding yourself out to be a doctor. And if I choose you over a different life coach because you're a doctor, and you insinuate that you're a doctor of psychology because you call yourself a psychology expert, if I am induced to hire you over the next guy because of that fraudulent representation, wire fraud, 20 years each time someone has hired you.
And she's not lying. Think about it, guys. I don't know when it comes to medical professionals, how you go about selecting the people that you select. I do select by experience. For instance, the therapist that I have now, she's not a PhD. I mean, I guess I'm at the point where they don't have to, have a PhD to be my therapist, but I do require years of experience. I'll give you another example. When I started out looking for therapists, some of them therapists was 20, 30. You can't be my therapist at 20 or 30. For one, you're almost old enough to be my child. You have not lived long enough to show me or teach me anything. So that was one of my requirements. So what that would mean, you got to have so many years of experience. This lady is saying she got 20, 30 years of experience, lying, saying she's a PhD. That is all wire fraud, simply because you stated that you had something that you didn't have. Now, I'm going to show y'all online because, again, I didn't know about this either. I simply went online because I was like, wait a minute, is this really wire fraud? Get into this, what's on my screen, y'all. I'm actually going to drop down at the bottom because I want you all to actually see the full thing, okay? This is the same code that this lady quoted, this TikToker. Right here, wire fraud is a federal crime that occurs when someone uses electronic communications, phone, email, text messages, or the internet to execute a scheme to defraud victims for money or property. This was a damn scheme. How was it a scheme? Because the lady lied. She does not have a PhD. I don't even think the lady got a master's or a bachelor's. I don't believe she has anything. That is what makes it a scheme. Now, if she would have said she's providing these services, life coaching sessions, and just provided, honestly, she didn't even have to say anything about education, especially education that you can't prove. People selected her based on the scheme, a scheme that Cheyenne created to come to us with the bullshit. So each time she does this or has done it, it says right here, punishable by up to 20 years in prison. But some of y'all put this in the chat. If she had a look any different, I'm gonna be honest, Cheyenne to me ain't all that pretty. I figure, you know, I like makeup. Sometimes I wear makeup, but if your makeup is the only thing that accentuates your pretty, to me, you all right, okay? So Cheyenne without the makeup, she all right, okay? If your makeup makes you a 10, then you all right. So I know a lot of people think that she all that. I think she's all right because, I mean, if you go back and look at some of them damn pictures without that damn makeup, she look all right, okay? So that's just me. I feel like if you don't look cute without your makeup, you all right. So for some reason, the folks think that, you know, I think she all right. I'm just going to call it what it is. Well, when we get into this whole situation, you know, like I stated before, with regards to this, you know, this fraud and what exactly, you know, is she doing and who did she hurt? This woman right here said it best. She said, actually, let's just listen to what she said. But basically what she said, she was suffering from PTSD. She had been in a bad situation. She's in the military. She was looking for somebody to help her. And if I'm correct, I think she said she had a therapist before and whatever had happened, but she selected this woman based on the credentials that she said she had, but we found out later that she didn't even have. She didn't have any credentials.
I want to make this very clear. I want to thank everybody for support, but also you have your naysayers in the background. Me speaking out is not about me trying to tear somebody down. It's not looking for a platform. I want to educate us. And it's so sad that when we speak up and talk about issues that are going on in our community, the people who speak up get attacked. When you suffer from PTSD and you had 2 suicide attempts, you think I wanted to reach out to her, look for platforms? You think I wanted to reach out just for myself? No, I wanted to help, which is what I have now. And suffering from a traumatic brain injury, things look different for me than everybody else. So please don't put your experiences on me. But what I will say, encourage each other and speak up.
So tell me, why would a non-doctor be, you know, having somebody that is suffering from a traumatic brain injury? Like, how does that work? Like, as she stated, someone with a traumatic brain injury, what you perceive as normal is not normal for her. Come on, y'all. I mean, do you even know I don't even know what that means, a traumatic brain injury. I just know that it's something going on up here. Why is this lady having therapy with somebody with a traumatic brain injury? This lady is a scheme and a scammer. Like, she should have said right away, I am not going to be able to help you. How is a person like her counseling someone with a traumatic brain injury? To tell her she's low functioning. You gonna tell this woman she's low functioning? She need to go to jail.
When things go wrong, don't attack people for speaking up. Encourage people to speak up. You guys be blessed, but this stuff, we have to start taking care of each other and stop hurting each other. So I want to make this very clear.
So guys, of course, let me call out Deborah. Thank you so much, Deborah, for your super chat. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. So here's another thing. Calling out this woman ain't hating. It's not anything. We deserve for people, if you are going to bring yourself and be like you're helping the Black community by providing services, don't bring your hopes over here, because that's exactly what you are, coming over here trying to grift with all your damn makeup on, thinking you cute. Girl, you look regular. You ain't no cuter than anybody else. Like somebody just put in the chat, people only think you cute because you like. Baby, you are right. I saw you without your makeup. You are okay. You ain't all of that. Okay, you come over here with all this damn makeup on and these tight ass clothes. You doing hoe stuff, because this is what hoes do. They try to, put their little makeup on, wear stuff to accentuate their body. And what they're really trying to sell is a little bit of ass, is really what she's trying to sell, because she has no credentials. You put this lady in a bad situation by telling her you were a therapist. She suffers from a traumatic brain injury. How are you helping the community? How are you helping the community? This ain't helping the community. We have a right to ask for people credentials. This lady has no credentials. She came over to grift the Black community, to steal from the Black community, just like what that man is, Umar Johnson, doctor, whoever his fake ass is. He just is fake. They said he got more baby mamas than what's that man, Donald Trump. So people like this are grifters. They're grifters. They use the Black community. Y'all start doing research on these people. Stop taking their word for it. Dr. Cheyenne, you fake ass lady, where's like Corey said, where are your colleagues? Who know you? Who used to work with you? Nobody knows you, ma'am. You're fake. Well, y'all listen to this though, because when I say I really want this hoe to go to jail, I am serious, because I want y'all to see something. She thinks this is a joke. She thinks this is funny. Look at this. Let me see if I can, let me show y'all the caption of this. Okay, I can't play the music, but I'm going to read what this hooker said. Okay. Just be happy. That alone makes miserable people mad. So the people are miserable because they ask for your qualifications. What in the, how does that equate to being miserable? This lady is some kind of narcissist. This lady needs some serious medication, okay? So now the people that are questioning this liar, this harlot, because that's who she is. I mean, anytime you got to put on a face full of makeup and get dialed up to present something, you in that Jezebel spirit. This lady, there's nothing, there's nothing degreed about her. And I'm gonna show y'all a clip to show y'all exactly how ghetto this hoe is. I don't respect her. I do not respect her. So listen to what she says. Just be happy. That alone makes miserable people mad. Your confidence, your peace, your joy, your abundance, it forces insecure people to confront everything they're not. So basically what she's saying is the people are miserable, jealous, they mad because she has the confidence, the joy, and the peace of something we don't have. So because we don't have it, people are going after her. What? What is this? This is like, I find this strange that a therapist is speaking like this. This lady is full of the devil. This broad ain't SHIT, y'all. This lady ain't nothing. Exactly. Right here. The Soul Stoic 2026. What type of therapist antagonizes people? Exactly. Like, I'm like, this lady has no qualifications, y'all. Zilch, zero. I would even question if this woman even have a high school diploma, because when you start to get older, even if you have no college degree or anything like that, there is a way you should carry yourself. The fact that this lady is antagonizing people and saying these sorts of things, this ain't what people do. So let's continue. She said, powerful people unintentionally expose how small, broken people feel inside. And instead of growing, some people resent what reflects their lack. So basically, what she's saying, she's powerful. Everybody is mad because they're broken. And we're mad because she is pretty much what we want to be. Huh? What is really going on here? Thank you, James SH4584, for the super chat. I really appreciate you. Y'all, this is cringy. Like, I just think this is like, this lady has a mental problem. There's nobody normal putting this sort of a thing on their social media to gloat and laugh after you intentionally deceive. I hope this hoe get arrested. I'm just going to be honest. I hope she gets arrested. She needs to be arrested. So she says, you are not responsible for, wait, let me start over. But that's not your burden. So she said it's not her burden to care about the broken people who want to be like her. She says she is not responsible for shrinking herself. Ma'am, nobody is asking you to shrink yourself. You don't have a PhD, so you can stay down low where the hoes at, because the only thing we do know about you, and Corey said you used to be a stripper, and I believe it. I believe it because he was the one that said that this lady didn't have a degree. He said this a long time ago. I believe that. I believe that this lady is a Jezebel. This lady ain't nothing but trash, okay? So she says she don't need to shrink herself because you are insecure, okay? She said that she gonna stay powerful, stay joyful, and you be blessed. The right people will be inspired by light. She said the bitter ones will be irritated by it. Either way, shine anyway. You know what? I think I'm going to send a letter into the district attorney. As a matter of fact, I'm reporting this hoe. So if ain't nobody reported her, I'm reporting her. So I'm reporting this lady. This lady needs to be arrested. She think this is a joke. She think this is a joke. She think this is a joke. This is a mess right here. But listen, remember, like some people were saying in the chat, why you got to call her a hoe? Because that's what I feel like she is. Not only do I feel like she's, she a little pole dancer, because that's what Corey said. I mean, well, what do you guys think? Tell me what you think. I mean, I'm just going off of what she showed us. If you act like this, I mean, what do you expect me to refer to you as? This is a doctor. This is how she acts when she goes in public. I mean, this is giving hope to me. I mean, what is that? I'm just saying. So, for the ones in the chat that's probably going to say, why you keep calling her a hoe? Well, that's what it's given. That is what that's given. I mean, that's giving street hood rat. I mean, come on now. Look at this. Twerking her booty. Like, what is this? Come on, y'all. This ain't how women carry themselves. I expect this from maybe somebody in their 20s or something. Now, I'm sure I did this dance before, maybe in my 20s or something. Not at 50. You twerking your ass. Like, what is this? This is giving hood rat. Yes. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna do a video and I'm gonna show everybody how to report her. This woman needs to be stopped. She think this is a joke. She's laughing. She's making videos. Yes, I'm gonna do a video. I am reporting this hoe. So I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm reporting you. You need to be reported. You're playing with people's mental health and you need to be stopped. You are a fraud. And just like that woman said, you committed fraud. As a matter of fact, I got a friend that works for the federal government and I need to reach out to her. I ain't talked to her in a minute. This lady needs to be stopped. We need to stand on business and expose these frauds. Okay. We need to stand on business and expose these frauds. She thinks this is a joke. Okay. Now let me show y'all something else. I saw this video of her and I'm not sure how it came across my timeline, but when I tell you that this woman ain't shit, I'm going to show y'all a video where she pretty much cusses out her co-host. Like, cuss. So keep in mind, y'all, this is a lady who is, I mean, she's, you know, she keeps saying she's a therapist. We know that she's a liar. But not only is she a liar, this lady is a street thug. She's a street thug. She's a hood rat hoochie mama. We're going to watch this video where she's over talking her co-host, right? So the co-host says, wait a minute, let me get, you know, a word in, because essentially, I guess he has to close out the show. This lady goes berserk on him, starts talking about his wife. It gets crazy. Now, I don't know if y'all familiar with Frank Ski. I listen to Frank Ski, and I've kind of learned, you know, his mannerisms. I can tell Frank knows that this lady ain't shit. So let's watch this video so y'all can see how she interacts. You cannot tell me you are an educated professional woman when you're disrespecting. You can't even have a conversation. She starts to demean him, call him all types of names. And I said, just like I said, this lady is trash. This is no therapist. This woman don't got nothing. I don't even believe she has a high school diploma. Watch this video.
Think about the notion of holding parents criminally responsible for their children's behavior.
I said it earlier. I said it's circumstantial. I think that if a parent is neglecting their child of what's needed for them to be mentally stable and healthy and be in a state of mind where they can actually, operate as a citizen who isn't impaired, then I think that that parent who's providing those resources, should not be have consequence or discipline. But again, if you're neglecting your child in any manner, I think there should be consequences to a parent, no matter what, if there's neglect at the hands of a child. But y'all know how I feel. I feel gentle parenting makes for a child. I think that there are rules and there's structure, and there's a thing called boundaries, and boundaries have been proven to create healthy relationships, not just between people, but for that person within themselves. And if we raise kids with no boundaries and no structure and discipline, they go out into the world and they don't understand that, and they end up being in battles, and they end up actually having a lot of issues with law enforcement. They end up being the child that's disruptive in school and class because they don't understand that the world doesn't revolve around them. There's a big world that
Where does she get this knowledge from? Like, she just speaks like a damn idiot. If I were to talk about children, because I don't have a degree in anything related to that, I would always draw it back to my experience. You cannot speak on topics in which you have no education, ma'am. You don't even have any kids. So you can't even say, I'm speaking from my background. This lady, all she talks is word salad. She just be, what is this? Listen to this.
They are able to participate in, but they cannot be the center of attention to everything. And so I'll end on saying that what I do agree with is that every child is different, and that every child may not necessarily need the same level of discipline, but every child does need structure and discipline in order for that child to grow up and be an adult who understands that this is the law of the land. This is how life works. And successful people, not just only externally, but internally, what they do carry at the nucleus of who they are is.
Now, pay attention. Pay attention, guys. If you have ever heard her speak, she don't never shut the hell up. I guess when she went to college and got her 6 PhDs, she did not know how to stop a sentence. This is the most run-on sentence hoe that I've ever heard of. She just, like, she just keeps, like, where is the period? Like, she gonna keep going. Now, what is gonna happen is at some point they gotta close out the show. And she's like she won't stop. But listen how she goes to attack. Keep in mind, this is the therapist. Most therapists generally provide good atmospheres for people, right? She starts to attack her own co-host. Not only does she attack him, y'all, she started talking about this man's wife. I said, what the hell is going on?
Discipline and boundaries.
If gentle parenting creates gentle children, sign me up. I definitely want to create more gentle adults, especially men. Hold on, Reba, especially men.
You are a
My
gentle.
God, are you kidding? Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. That's what we need in the world is more gentle men who understand.
You're very gentle, and it comes at.
Okay, so do you guys see how you won't let the man talk? If you guys, like when they're on these panels, it's very difficult for people to talk if you continue to interrupt. But what he's going to say is, we just had a meeting about this. We just had a meeting, miseducated dummy. Don't know what a period is. Your run-on mouth sentences won't shut the fuck up. Okay? So he's taken, like, he's kind of giving her the sign, like, but she still won't shut her ass up. Like, she gonna keep, like, it's just, and he's going to still be nice about it, but she's going to start ripping into him and talking about his wife. And I'm like, what is this? So I'm going to rewind it just a little bit.
Gentle men who understand.
You're very gentle, and it comes at an angle that doesn't always work for people.
Let's just stop and go back, because I'm wrapping the show and you're interrupting me.
First of all,
this is what we spent a whole meeting on this.
First of all, Teray,
first of all, why don't you let me wrap the show? I'm ending the show.
First of all,
what is the point of interrupting me? We're getting out of here. Like, what is the point? What is the point? It says go to host up.
When you're talking to me, lower your fucking.
Okay, lower your effing voice. This hood, y'all, come on now. This lady is a hood rat. This lady is not professional. Where does that come? Lower your effing voice. This hoe is street, y'all. Stop giving your money to people who can't even have a basic conversation. How in the hell is she teaching anybody to do anything? All she had to say, oh, my bad. I'm so sorry. Lower your effing voice. Lower your effing voice. First of all, why are you talking to that man like that? I mean, you're a therapist, right? So you do know that what you said was a problem, but it's a bigger problem when you tell a man to, come on now, you can't talk to this dude like this. And not only are you doing it, you're doing it on a live show. Like, what is really going on? Look at Frank Ski's face. He looking down because he like, hell to the no. So let's rewind this just a little bit.
Voice when you're talking to me. Lower your fucking voice when you're talking to me, because you're acting very, very gentle, very soft, and very feminine. And this is the problem.
You're acting very soft and very feminine. So why is the insults? How can she teach anybody anything when this lady cannot have a conversation? It did not need to lead to name calling. Not one time did this man call her a name. So not only did she insult him, insult his manhood, she finna go in on his wife, okay? This is the therapist, right? She's finna go in on this man's wife. Listen to this.
Because you're acting very, very gentle, very soft, and very feminine. And this is the problem. Teray, you talk to your wife like that. You don't talk to me like that. I am not your wife. You don't talk to me like that. I'm not your wife.
Talk to your wife like that? What does his wife have to do with this? Come on now. What is this? This is ghetto hood rat. This lady ain't been to nobody's school. You don't even know how to take responsibility when you make a mistake. All she had to say, I am so sorry, I apologize. You done insulted his manhood. You done, basically told him he wasn't shit, he a little girl. Now you go in on his wife. So because he asked you to shut the F up, now you go to insulting him, his manhood, and his wife. His wife ain't even there. His wife has nothing to do with this. She goes in on his wife, his manhood on a live show.
soft and very feminine. And this is the problem. Correct. You talk to your wife like that. You don't talk to me like that. I am not your wife. You don't talk to me like that. I'm not your wife, Jinto. I'm not your wife, Softy. Don't talk to me like that. You talk to your wife like that, not me. Teray, talk to your wife like that. Do not talk to me like that. That is not how you finish.
So the thing that really kind of got on my nerves, and this is why I am going to reach out to the federal government, get this and send this everywhere. I am going to send in a letter. I'm going to go online and I'm filing a complaint against her. This hoe needs to be arrested. So she insults this man under the guise that she's a therapist. And this is why she's allowed to do this. Now, I don't know who this executive producer is, but generally you mute the person who's doing the disrespect. This man ain't called this hoe, because if it was me, I'd have cussed her out, okay? I'd have cussed her out like the dog that she is. But I understand he's a man. He want to be respectful. I get it. This man has never said anything disrespectful. He never called her out of her name. She should have been the one that got muted. But what ended up happening is this executive producer comes on, and guess who gets muted, y'all? I bet y'all probably already know this. The executive producer mutes him. He has said nothing inappropriate to her. He didn't call her any names, but she is allowed to say this ignorant ass shit while he's muted. Like, I don't want to hear nothing else this lady had to say. So I want y'all to watch this part where I think his name is Teray. He's muted, and you would think that she would shut up, right? She keeps on and on and on and on and on.
Talk to your wife like that, not me. Teray, talk to your wife like that. Do not talk to me like that. That is not how you finish. That is not how you professionally approach me. Don't fucking talk to me like that. Check.
Frank and 𝐸𝐵, I apologize.
Check yourself. You don't talk to me like that.
Hold on,
talk to your
Doc.
wife like that.
Doc, hold on.
Shut the fuck up talking to me like that. That's what you do. That's what you do.
Shut the F up talking to me? What type of damn therapist is this? Shut the F up talking to me. Do we got any therapists in the house? I'm confused. Shut the F up talking to me. But wait, y'all, she never got muted, but he did. That's why you hear her still talking. He was talking, but he realized he was muted and then he stopped. Shut the F up talking to her. This is a therapist, though.
You better tap into your gentleness and real quick.
We ready?
I've been ready. Been ready.
𝐸𝐵, Frank, you guys ready?
Yep.
You ready to wrap this up?
Yes, as I was doing.
And then we'll speak off camera. Here we go.
We always ask, when should a parent be held responsible for their children's behavior, whether it's at school?
Now, I hope you guys caught that part. The reason why you didn't hear him say anything, and I'm going to rewind it a little bit, is he realized he was muted. He did attempt to say something, but what y'all saw was his mouth moving. She took full advantage of that because she really went in because he wasn't saying anything. So I'm going to just rewind it just a little bit because I think some of you guys thought she was muted. No, she was never muted. He was muted.
Yep.
You ready to wrap this up?
Yes, as I was doing.
And then we'll speak.
That's what you do. That's what you do. You better tap into your gentleness and real quick.
We ready?
I've been ready. Been ready.
𝐸𝐵, Frank, you guys ready?
Yep.
Yep. You ready to wrap this up?
I'm glad you pointed that out. You said a woman producer let her do that. And that's something I don't do. I don't ride with women when y'all wrong is F-U-C-K, just like I don't ride with men when you're wrong. I don't live in that world. I have 2 sons and a daughter. So I don't ride with her. I don't ride with them. I ride with whatever I feel is right. So this woman producer thought it was okay for this hooker to talk to this man like this. And damn, what did he didn't even really, like, what was all of that even for? See, I don't play that game because I would have muted that hoe and turned her camera off. Good day. Have a nice one. This wasn't funny at all. And you can tell they kind of all felt it because she was the one that was out of order. Yes, please hit the like button.
Yes, as I was doing.
And then we'll speak off camera. Here we go.
We always ask, when should a parent be held responsible for their children's behavior, whether it's at school, tantrum in Walmart, whatever? Let's flip the lens. There's a difference between the parent mourning a child lost to violence and the one silently praying because their child pulled the trigger. One gets sympathy, the other gets silence, but both carry a pain the world rarely understands. So tonight, the part we never talk about, ask yourself, not as a spectator, but as a parent of a child who took a life, how should society treat that parent? Should the law hold them accountable or let them live with the weight in silence? Would you deserve compassion or a conviction or a bunch of I told you so's? It's a tough one, but that's what we do on Truth Talks. Hit us in the comments and let us know how you feel. That's all we have for tonight. Thank you for Bring the Funk family for welcoming the Truth Tellers to the channel. This is our last week on Roland Martin Unfiltered. To continue to see the show and support Black media, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Truth Talks-Live, where you can catch us every night at 8 p.m. EST and at 11 p.m. EST. Support Black media at Cash App's Truth Talks Live or on any of the links on your screen. Get your Truth Talks membership today. Click here on the screen and you can choose from 3 different exciting tiers. Black media is under attack and this show is being shadow banned. So support us by telling a friend to tell a friend to check us out every night at 8 p.m. See you next time on our channel.
Good night, y'all.
Shut your ass. Like, why does she have to say something? Good night, y'all. Girl, bye. Thank you, No Captivity with Freezy, for the $10 super chat. Guys, check out his channel. He is a live streamer. I'm kind of just learning how to do the lives, but hopefully I'm doing well. But yeah, check out No Captivity with Freezy, guys. Yeah, y'all, that had me hot. That had me hot. The way that woman sat up here and disrespected this man. I was like, this. Listen, this woman she don't have no degree. Again, I don't think she has nothing, like nothing. I don't even believe this woman has a high school diploma. Like, I just don't. I don't believe anything about her. I believe this lady is a fraud, and I believe she's a scammer, and I'm gonna report the hoe. That's what I'm gonna do, because when I saw this video and she's sitting up here laughing as if it's a joke after this woman then came out and pretty much said that she suffered from PTSD. I think she used to be in the military, and that she tried to unalive herself twice. That really hurted my soul just to even hear that. And the fact that you didn't give a damn about this woman. You didn't care. That lady could have left out of that meeting and went and unalived herself, and nobody would have never knew about it. But then people are sitting out here calling this woman out, calling her a hater. A hater of what? What is she hating? Because she decided to tell her story. Somebody put in the chat that let me go find it. I thought I saw y'all put in there that the Black women that's supporting her. I don't give a damn about those folks. I don't support wrong, okay? I don't support wrong. Now, if she would have been honest, that's a different thing. But to support somebody, if the people, whoever the folks that's coming out here supporting her, y'all better watch their ass. Y'all watch them. Because if you will support some shit like that, yeah, be careful. Be careful. Somebody said Touré is a reputable journalist with years of experience. He worked for Vibe magazine. I thought I saw him somewhere. I thought he looked familiar. Somebody said, I like to report her too. So as I said, I'm going to do a video. This lady needs to be reported. The fact that she shows no empathy. Imagine you going out lying to a whole community of people, grifting their money, telling us how you have a resort style pool that you done paid for, providing people with bullshit therapy, telling them that they're low functional. You low functional. I mean, y'all listen, I've been in a situation where I was depressed at once upon a time. Like, I was really depressed. Imagine me going to my therapist and she say, you low functional. How the hell am I low functioning? Because I'm experiencing depression. At one time in my life, it seemed like every 6 months somebody was passing away. So it made me depressed. You know, it was just too much. It was like every time I was turning around, it was a funeral. It was a funeral. It was like I couldn't keep up. So, you know, I don't know, you know, what a military vet experiences, but to tell that woman she low, that's not cool. That's not cool. Guys, if you can do me a favor, make sure you guys are liking the video. I'm going to run through some of y'all comments. It's a lot of them, so I'm going to try. I mean, if you really want me to read your comment, go ahead and super chat. Otherwise, I'm just going to try to pick them. I'm going to try to pick them. But it's a lot of dang on it's a lot of questions in here. Oh, you said Torre was out front speaking at the Diddy trial. He looks familiar. He looks familiar. I just didn't know where I knew him from. Now, one of the things I'm going to do. Exactly. She Ray J doctor. Now, y'all know Ray J. Somebody, look what somebody put in the chat. She Ray J doctor. Now, y'all know Ray J need to be seeing a real doctor. No. Ray J, if you're here, Ray J, drop her and go get you a real doctor. This lady don't need to be. She needs help herself. She needs help herself. I mean, can't take accountability for her own shit, but she's talking about she's providing therapy when she needs therapy. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start going through reading y'all chats again. If y'all want me to like really read it, you can definitely super chat it. Otherwise, I'm going to kind of pick them randomly. So I'm also going to drop the link. If you want to come up, you can, but you're going to have your camera on though, for real, because it be bots in here. All right, so if y'all want to come up, just hit the link, but I'm going to start to read some of y'all chats here. What y'all saying? Oh boy. You said Ray J called her as he wanted to harm himself. She came over, told him to get off live first. Lady need to go away. If he is having thoughts of harming himself, she does not, he don't need to be her client. That is another level of mental health. Let me kind of explain to y'all how this mental health thing works. I know a little bit about it, just a little bit. In the state of Georgia, if you say that you think you're gonna harm yourself, it's a form called, I can't remember the exact name of it, but you can go to a mental facility. I think it's for 7 days or something like that. So the fact that, and the reason why they will put you in a mental facility, because they want to stabilize you. Because a person that's saying that they want to harm themselves, that's dangerous. They need to be stabilized. So yeah, that's kind of weird that, you know, she's seeing Ray J and Ray J is saying he wants to harm himself, and she's still providing care. Ray J needs to be referred to somebody else, and that's just that. All right, let me see what this one says. Torre interviewed R. Kelly on his allegations of young girls. Okay, thank you. I didn't know that. Like I said, I see this guy Torre, and I'm like, I remember him from somewhere. What up, Kyle?
Hey, how are you?
Now, you're the only one that I'm letting up here with no picture, because I know who you are. How's it going?
I'm doing good. It's been a minute.
Been a minute. Okay, we was on here for like, what, 8 hours one night?
Right, we was chopping it up. I was going to say, Torre used to be on MTV.
Yeah, I think I remember him when I saw that that little live that I just showed you all. I was like, I remember him from somewhere. Yeah, I think I did see him there. What you think about this lady, Dr. Fake Cheyenne Bryant?
I think she is definitely, from seeing that video you last played, she's definitely not educated in the field, because I've taken an intro to psychology course, and the basics of psychology is anybody in that field would take whatever somebody's saying and they would listen first. And I think she was getting heated with 𝐸 is because he exposed her. You know what I'm saying? Like, they talk about narcissism and stuff. They don't like being exposed. So instead of sitting back and allowing 𝐸 to talk, she just starts cursing him out. And what therapist or what psychology professional do you know talks like that? Like, I watch Dr. Ramani and different people, like, they don't talk like how she's talking. And I'm surprised because I never see this side of her, but yeah, definitely. Like, if you can't get mad when you're doing all these podcasts and interviews when somebody asks you a question.
Right. Now, is there a video that I haven't saw? Because that's the first time me seeing that particular show. Somebody was saying that he exposed something. Did I miss something? What did he expose?
So I saw another video. He has his own channel, and he talked about her. I don't know if that came out like what you just played, because I came on later. He talked about her on his own channel, talking about she's not really accredited and X, Y, and Z. He's been talking about the Diddy thing, different, because he used to be on MTV. He was talking about all these different artists he's interviewed and how they really are. His channel's pretty decent, right? So I don't know if it has to do with that, but I just think her media tour is really not calculated. She needs media training. Her and K. Michelle too. Like, if you're going to do interviews, you need to be prepared for questions, and you need to know how to answer them gracefully, or you need to know how to get around certain questions and stuff like that. You cursing people out, talking about you need to shut the F up. What type of psychologist talks like that?
Right. You know what? Thank you for telling me that, because I just went and found it. So he did do a video, just like you said. It's on his channel, and it says a day ago. It says, why Cheyenne Bryant doubled down instead of proving her degree. Okay, I didn't see that one. But so here's the deal. People will eventually show you who they are. There is no way in hell you a therapist talking like this. You are belittling people. A therapist? What are you belittling?
Right.
Man, you talking about his manhood, talk about his wife. Come on now. You are putting him down for what? He just said this is what we talked about in the meeting, and you just went ham.
Right. And I think that showed her lack of professionalism, because there's this trend online where women are calling men zesty if they don't agree with them and stuff like that. But where I am like just floored is for you to want people to believe that you're an expert in psychology and you to be reverting to that lowbrow type of stuff. Like, how are people supposed to be taking you serious? And then on top of that, you're trying to prove that you really have a PhD. Somebody with a PhD is not going to be getting on the internet talking like that.
Right. And guess what? Generally, if a person has a PhD, you refer to them as doctor. Nobody goes on the tour talking about the degrees that they have. Only people who don't have them. Generally, when a person has earned a degree, they may list it in their bio, but she's forever doing these interviews talking about, I got this, I got that. That's the indication that she don't have it too. Like, you keep talking about it, but then when asked to prove it, now it's, I don't have to prove anything. Like this what? Doesn't make any sense.
And remember, I was on your channel yesterday, how she got caught. To me, what really destroyed her was the Breakfast Club interview. She made up that whole, I don't know how she should have went on ChatGPT or something, but everybody that went to college knows how the financial aid, I'm going back to school, so I'm going through it myself. She said that FAFSA gave her a refund, like wanted to give her a refund because they could not find her transcripts or something. I've never heard of anything like that in my life. When you file for FAFSA or financial aid, the only time you get a refund is if you have zero income or you're very low income, like public assistance or something like that. And they're going to give you a refund check from the government, like the Pell Grants and the TAP. I've never in my life heard of somebody getting financial aid refunds from a college closing.
Right. And that's how you know. And when she made that statement, I said, this lady don't have no degree. Because that doesn't even make any sense. Like, that makes no sense. Like, lady, what? Then wait a minute. She makes that statement, but then still goes on to say they did not provide her transcripts. So then I start thinking, well, ma'am, if they told you this and they can't provide your transcripts, then why didn't you just get your money back? You see what I'm saying? She said these things that makes no sense at all. No sense at all.
And I think I was saying this yesterday on your channel. I think she's smart to dumb people, if that makes sense. And I don't want to call people dumb, exactly. But there's people
you're right.
that have not been to higher education, and I'm not saying that makes you less or more, or their parents haven't had higher education, and you can tell because like when you're saying things like that, and people that have been to college, we know what the process is. Like, it does not make sense.
Not at all. Now, someone put in the chat, melanated wealth. She doesn't think rules apply to her, even if it is time to wrap up the segment. Exactly. She kind of, I know it's a word for it, I just can't think of it. She almost seems that like she's some kind of elitist, like she's above people. It's weird because all she had to do, honestly, was come out and say, she could have said, listen, the reason why I said I had a PhD because I did the work, but in all honesty, I didn't do the dissertation. Guess what? That would have blown over. People would have been on to the next thing. Her behavior is what caused everything that has happened afterwards, because people like, you're full of shit. And it's clear that she was grifting the whole time. Like, this was a grift.
Yeah, but you know, the thing, Lakeysha, is that some people have an issue with accountability. So admitting that would be that saying that her whole brand is a fraud. And I think all these interviews are just digging her grave, because if I was in the middle of a scandal right now, I would call somebody or get like a publicist or something like that. Why would you be going on the Breakfast Club, Sherri Shepherd? And you saw how Sherri Shepherd gathered her at the end of the interview. Did you see that? Sherri Shepherd was like, I have 2 degrees in journalism and I'm an actual journalist. She didn't catch that. But we got to talk about how she came into fame. She started on Basketball Wives. And remember, she was going to be beating somebody up for Jackie.
Yeah, I remember. And again, too, I feel like too, we really, I don't know what it is with us. I don't think we are haters. We just love to see Black success stories, because in all honesty, the way that lady acted on Basketball Wives, we should have known that damn lady wasn't no therapist on there acting. Now I just showed you another video. She acting ghetto. How's she a therapist?
Right.
That's how therapists conduct themselves. So you mean to tell? So this is the thing. Therapists go through a lot of education. Not only do they have to go and do their regular schoolwork, they literally have to go in the field and volunteer. Like, they are volunteering for hours to even get out of these different classes. So how is this woman out here dragging people, knowing the impact of her words? Now, listen, I ain't go to school for therapy. So if I'm talking shit, I really, I ain't go to school for this, but this is a woman that has went to school for therapy. She knows how powerful, especially holding the title as a therapist. She said Corey stank. Now she owns it. I'm just like, this lady is too much. Let me, I want to recognize somebody for their super chat. In a prize entertainment, you said, I'm sad for our community. Fraud like her in Umar are all people see in mainstream. Scary and sickening. We demand better leadership and representation. Right. I mean, we got to just start checking these people out. We just can't be like, oh, this is a Black. Oh, they look nice. They seem. No, we need to start checking credentials. And in all honesty, you don't need to have credentials, but when you say you're a lawyer, you say you're a therapist, you say you're a doctor, you got to have credentials. Shakira, thank you for coming up.
Hi.
Hello, Shakira.
Hi, how are you guys doing?
We are
good. Pretty good.
Good. Well, I'm happy to be on here. I've watched you for a while, so I'm happy that I'm here. I'm actually a licensed professional counselor and also a licensed clinical professional counselor in 7 states.
Come on.
I wanted to come up on here because I'm sorry.
tell us the name. Like, what's the name? Are you, because you say you're licensed in how many states?
In 7 states. I'm licensed in 7.
What states are you licensed?
Kansas, Missouri, Ohio, Texas, Florida, Delaware, and Georgia.
Okay. So if somebody was looking for a therapist, where would they find you at?
Yes. So my first and last name, you can find me really quick. I'm on Psychology Today. I'm also on platforms called Sondermind Health. It's virtual, so I see clients virtually. Also Growth Therapy. You can also see me at blackgirlstherapy.com, another resource that you can find me, and you can see my license. So everything is public. That's why I have my first and last name. So it's easy for people to see and find me. My first and last name, Shakira Gerard at yahoo.com. If people want to email me, if they are seeking therapy services. So yes, so I'm very easy to find.
Okay, great. No, I just wanted to give you that introduction because you say you was a therapist and people are looking for therapists. So didn't want to cut
absolutely.
you off. Go
Oh,
ahead.
no. Please. And I encourage my clients to advocate, and the importance of advocacy and the importance to challenge. I believe that if you are claiming that you are any type of professional, you have a duty, not only to yourself, but also to future clients, that you are supposed to be showing your credentials. You can't come up here and require people to pay you for a service, but when they're asking you for your credentials, then you want to hesitate and be like, well, I don't have to show anything. Those are big red flags and can cause harm. So that's why I wanted to be on here and to talk about that. I do not call her Dr. anything. She is not a doctor. She doesn't have any credentials. Hell, we don't even know if she actually has a degree. There's not one degree up there that she has shown or demonstrated. And also when people saying that they're an expert, like Cheyenne Bryant talks about being a psychology expert, that is a weird verbiage that people will say professionally, because what does that mean? Psychology is a vague field of study, and it's a big umbrella with different subtitles. What are you an expert in? Clinical, forensics, social, sports. I could keep going. Even in my credentials, I'm not an expert. There's so much more that someone has to learn. So I don't even say that. So when she was saying just her verbiage, that gave me a big red flag, because people in that professional realm wouldn't say that. That's very odd.
Shakira, that was another thing that I was going to say. If you notice in her interviews, her early interviews, she used the word therapist like vaguely, right? But then when she was starting to be exposed, she was double backing and sort of taking it back, and then going around I don't want to go through insurance and X, Y, and Z. I want to service my people. I want to do this. And then I think it's about branding. Also, because if she says that she's not a psychologist or a therapist, then her ego's messed up because people take her less seriously.
Yes. So, and she also used life coach and therapy interchangeably. And she's intentionally doing that because if you just say I'm a life coach, it's not as credible as saying I am a licensed mental health professional.
Right.
So if people know what they know, so they're thinking, I guess it's the same thing, and it's actually not. And you're mislabeling and miseducating people that are trying to figure out what is the real deal when it comes to mental health, and also professionals, because it is a difference. And when you are mislabeling and falsifying information, you are dividing trust between the people versus actual professionals who really is doing the work.
Yeah, I agree with you. I feel like this whole press tour is going to be very bad for her, unfortunately. And like Lakeysha was talking about, she might be indicted because, if you've been through the legal system, or any of you know anything, what does your lawyer tell you? To shut the hell up. You need to shut up. So I don't understand why she is doing all these tours while she's under scrutiny, because if she is going to be indicted, guess what? The feds are going to be taking all of her interviews and all the stuff that she's doing, and they're going to use that as evidence. And I'm sure behind the scenes, they're taking invoices or different things that she did. So I was saying on the channel yesterday, I think she needs to call up Russell Simmons and go to Bali because she can't be extradited from there. Like, when you are in the fire, you need to take that time and take your money and get out of here because, like, I don't know what she's going to do. And Russell Simmons was smart, but we see what happened to Diddy. Diddy was, I'm in New York City. He was walking around Harlem taking pictures with people thinking he was invincible. I'm like, why? If I'm under fire, I'm not doing Breakfast Club interviews.
I got a question for you, Shakira, because one of the things that she said, she went on to say that she did not take insurance, which there are some therapists that don't take insurance, but she made it seem like her not taking insurance was a way that she did not have to deal with the, ethics and moral terms. It was just weird because her definition of why she didn't take insurance was the wrong definition. You'll find, therapists, because I've ran across some, they don't take insurance simply because they just don't want to deal with the hassle of it, not because they're going to get more money or I don't want to have to deal with the ethics and all of that. When she said that, I was like, yeah, this is really odd. What did you think?
That she didn't make any type of sense. When she was stating that she didn't want to take any insurances and that is the only reason for licensure, and that is not true. You can be a licensed mental health professional and you can only do self-pay. That has nothing, you do not have to take insurance. So when she was saying that, I'm like, you're not making any type of sense. I do take insurances. It can be a hassle, but that's another topic. But no, you can be a licensed mental health professional and do self-pay.
Right. So I wanted to share your profile, if that's okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that is all public. Yes.
This is Shakira's profile. And if you are looking for a therapist, you can, what I like about Psychology Today, so this is her profile, and obviously she's listed her experiences and things like that. You can also filter this. Let's say you're looking for somebody that, deals in anxiety and different things. So this is an awesome website to check out if you're looking for a therapist. I use this. So, obviously I have a therapist now, but this is definitely a website. And I know you mentioned, was it Growth Therapy? I'm familiar with them as well.
Yes, that's just another platform that I am a part of to see clients virtually within the states that I'm licensed in.
Right. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming up. I appreciate the real therapist coming up, because another reason why I started talking about this, because I didn't want people to feel discouraged. Having a therapist and being able to, share things that you have held for so long, that's a lot, because I actually, I started off with a few therapists and just didn't like their professionalism. The last one, I decided to go with somebody else because she felt like I didn't need therapy. And I'm like, I'd make the decision whether or not I need therapy, but I kind of felt burnt out because I was like, I done been with all these 3 folks. I'm tired of sharing information and over again. So I'm glad I pushed myself to do it this last time, because I finally got somebody that is really working for me. So I just didn't want people to get discouraged and feel like, all these therapists is scamming. She's not a therapist.
Right. Yeah, I want to add one thing, and I'll get off. And I appreciate being on here. I just want to tell everybody, when it comes to licensures and things like that, you have every right, and that is your right to ask for credentials. Those things are public. It is something that is not hidden. So you can even call the board in that state and ask about someone else's license. And if someone is hesitant or saying that they don't want to show it or they can't show it for different reasons, that is a big red flag, and you can also report that. So I just want to share that to everybody. Those are public things that you can find. That is something that is not hidden. You can ask for credentials. They're supposed to show you. I'm proud. I've worked really hard and I am proud to show my credentials. So I just want to let everybody know that is not a secret. That is public information.
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great rest of your day.
You too.
Lakeysha, I think she bit off, like, she was too big for her britches. I think that she really jumped into this doctor psychology thing, and she was on this Basketball Wives, and she was so worried about fame, and then she didn't think about the logical parts of, oh, I got to back this up. Remember the guy that was on Housewives and Nene exposed him, and he was dating Sheree?
I think
That's what.
the name? What's the name?
Was it Muhammad or something like that? Or like, what was his?
Tyrone. Was it Tyrone?
Yeah. So I feel like this is exactly the same thing. And I'm like, how does she think? Like, she could have said that she had a bachelor's. Like, somebody could have got away with that and said they have a bachelor in arts or something like that. But a psychology sort of thing, like, you didn't think that people were going to come forward and say, hey, this is that? Like,
well, and that is why I said I don't think she has any degree, because she didn't have common sense to know that you saying you're a licensed therapist makes you open to the public where we can find it. She didn't have sense enough to know, saying she had a PhD, that, girl, you didn't know that you had your dissertation was public. Like, why would she know these things? So that is why I said I don't believe this lady has any degree, because the mistakes that she made really tells you that she ain't educated at all. I mean, I don't have a PhD, but I know that I ain't gonna have one because I'm not gonna do a dissertation. Let me call out a few super chats. Thank you, Brother Podcast, for the $5. And I think I missed somebody. Natasha Holiday 7298. Thank you for the $2. And I think I missed another person. Oh, you said, oh, I can't even. Tano Snap LeBron's. Oh, you got a long name. It says Touré interview R. Kelly on his allegations of young girls. I think I did that one already. Okay, yeah, I just wanted to call out the super chats, but I don't think she has any degree, because if you're going to come up with a lie, it seemed like it would be a lie that would at least get you to where you're trying to go. Saying that you got a PhD and you got a license, girl, your license is public information. So I don't understand it. But I'm not a mental health professional, but I really think this lady has a mental health problem.
And that's what I was saying before. She's doing too much with speaking too much. Like, anybody has common sense, they would consult. I always believe if you're any type of public figure, you need to consult with people, talk to people before you make any type of moves, because this is why publicists are out here for these big celebrities. They tell them which red carpets to go on to, which interviews to go on. You notice Beyonce doesn't even do interviews anymore, and that's calculated. So another thing I want to talk about, Lakeysha, I wanted to know if you noticed, there was this girl, I forget her YouTube channel, but she's great. She breaks down the housewives and their personalities, and she gets into the nitty gritty, and I forgot her name, but she was talking about how Black straight men have enabled her because she's pretty. And I watched something with Joe Budden's podcast yesterday where they were sort of afraid to criticize her because Mark Lamont Hill, I think, knows her and is her friend or something like that. And Joe Budden said that he knows her. So there's like Cam Newton, all these guys that are doing podcasts, except for the guy, Corey Holcomb, that you showed. They're all just like sort of backing up. But I'm like, y'all have such strong opinions about everything else. Why are y'all?
Let me tell you what I've heard. This is what I've heard. And I believe Brooke, I think I've heard this from, not directly from Brooke Bailey, but y'all can check this out. I didn't hear it directly, but what I was told is
allegedly.
Allegedly. She may know people, and they're saying that Brooke Bailey allegedly said that the interview that she did with Cam Newton was a favor of someone else. So it could be a situation where, somebody refer her. I don't know. I don't know how people roll. I'm not going to be fake. Even if somebody asks me to interview somebody, once I find out you a liar, I'm going to talk about it. I'm not going to sit there and pretend that someone is something that they're not. I mean,
right.
For what reason? I found this interview too of this guy Touré that you were talking about. Let's watch his interview, because it could have been too, she had an issue with him based on him breaking down her lies. Because
but Lakeysha, I want, before you play it, they apparently worked together on something and they didn't get along. But the thing about 𝐸 is that I think he caught on to her and everything like that from the beginning, because in his video that he had, he said he was asking around what university and what college she went to. Like he was interested in getting to know her, but he was being super curious. And that's what we were talking about. You can't lie to everybody, because some people, it's just like the workplace. Your coworkers are going to be nosy. They're going to ask, oh, where did you go to school? Where did you know what I'm saying? And you're going to get caught. So I'm going to let you play it.
And I don't even think it's all about being nosy. Lady, you've been in this field for how many years, and nobody ever is like, oh, Dr. Cheyenne, I work with her here. Before you get into your own practice, generally you work with other people. She goes on to say she worked under her supervisor. Where is your damn supervisor? Just like she tells us, I've been engaged 3 times. Where are these men at? Like, who are these people? So I don't know. I don't think he's, investigating her. We got common sense, and this shit just don't add up. Like Corey, where are your colleagues? Where are your colleagues?
Master the art of being.
Did she go? A lot. Basically, I totally saw this coming.
Wait.
I'm not a doctor, but I play one.
Wait. It's gonna be
argument that came up through multiple episodes of the show, and that told me a lot. Basically, I totally saw this coming.
I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV.
The first time I talked with her, she told me she had 3 degrees, and I said, what schools did she go to? A lot of people are saying stuff like that. What school did she go to? Did she actually finish a doctorate? Did she actually write a dissertation? All of these simple questions.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna let it play. But so she mad at him. Okay, I get it. But still, he can express what he's, his commentary. You just play it online.
Were answered in a convoluted way during a press tour from hell that is damaging her image, one bad answer after another. This is probably the worst press tour of all time.
I played a doctor on television.
The problem with playing a doctor on TV and acting like that means you're a real doctor is that people think you're giving them help from a place of deep education, and you're not. Maybe you can actually be helpful for real for some people some of the time, but there's lots of therapists who've gone through the academy, the whole academy, and can easily prove that, who are deeply, deeply trained on how to help people who are in complicated situations.
I'm not a real doctor, but I play one on TV. But I can probably be a little helpful if you're dealing with something.
And they are licensed so that the world can know you can trust this person.
I'm surprised by this Cheyenne Bryant controversy because I never thought she had a PhD. Like, never. Something about her always gave honorary doctorate at best.
So when the press tour from hell took her to the mighty Joe Budden podcast, the trouble started. She explained that she was not licensed as a therapist anymore, and she did this in a very haughty tone, as though we were the dummies and she had to educate us. She made it sound...
Okay, let me shout out this super chat. Considering I'm a licensed LPC therapist and PTSD consultant, this situation is fascinating. Let me know when you want me to come through to discuss Miss Cheyenne Bryant. Well, you can, I'm gonna drop the link. You can come up. I mean, if you like to come up now, if not, you can certainly send me a DM. But you can certainly hit that link and come up.
Like we had not been actively listening, and that was the problem. It was so condescending. She made it seem like being licensed had been holding her back somehow, and being unlicensed had freed her to be the best life coach and psychology expert possible. I don't know what a psychology expert is. That led to...
Now listen, what if the therapist that was just here saying, what didn't she say the same thing? This lady is a word salad queen. She just be saying stuff. Like, after watching her videos, I'm like, what? I'm a psychology expert.
A wild storm online. Practically all of the Black licensed therapists on TikTok jumped up to explain that she's talking nonsense. You need licensure.
Hello, my name is Dr. Raquel Martin. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist, professor of sciences, and podcast host who specializes in Black health and well-being. And I want to break down a clip from the Joe Budden podcast featuring someone.
I'm actually going to fast forward this because I don't watch this so many times. Okay.
Yeah.
Rigorous exams, and I'm accountable to a regulatory board.
Club where she made it worse. They asked her basically, hey girl, where's your dissertation? She went into a long, roundabout, convoluted non-planation of why she can't get her transcript. That sounded a lot like a digital version of The Dog Ate My Homework.
The conversation about your doctorate because people can't find your dissertation online.
It's very simple. I went to a school, 𝐼 University, completed an entire program. I went back online to get my official transcripts because I was applying to a law school many years ago to be a professor there. And I had to provide my transcripts, right, to get hired. And I went to contact the school and say, hey, I need my official transcripts. I need my entire thing. And there was no school. I was like, okay, I'm confused. I Google. It says this school has been shut down. I said, oh, well, they got to have records. I mean, they were accredited when I attended the school. They were accredited when I finished the program. I go and look, there is a third party that has the records. Where I contact the third party, that third party only holds records for 2 years. I was past my 2 years. So that means that I had no access to records. And then I contacted, financial aid. You can't make up financial aid. It shows that I paid for a doctoral program alongside my master's program and my undergrad program. And they said, we can fully refund you your money under one circumstance. We give you your money back. You don't get credit for not a class, a course, a program you took in this university, at this institute. So do you want us to refund you? Or do you want us not? I said no, because I didn't want to risk the chance of them saying, well, we're going to give you back your money, and it wipes out your entire program. Luckily, I had, I do this with all of the schools. I had downloaded from the actual student portal.
Oh, I'm sick of this. I'm with y'all. I'm tired of this damn story. Girl, shut your ass up. Like this.
Diplomas online.
Yeah.
Closed right now today.
I asked Google to get your records from the closed 𝐼 University. You should order transcripts and diplomas online through Parchment, right? So now Parchment is the third party company that she's speaking on. How long does Parchment hold on to transcripts from 𝐼 University? Parchment generally maintains access to digital records for closed institutions like 𝐼 University, often holding them for decades or indefinitely.
Today, May the 13th, 2026, I went ahead and I paid to see if I could get my transcript and how long it would take. I received a receipt. Then it says access transcripts.
He got access to his transcripts within minutes.
Many people have pointed that out.
As someone that holds the degree.
Okay, let's put this on hold for just a second because we do have another guest. Dr. Steele, thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me on. I'm going to be real quick. Now, the thing about Parchment.com, I can attest to that. Also, she says she graduated from 𝐼 University. I got my master's at 𝐼. And I was able to go into Parchment.com and get my transcript sent to another university. Then I actually started my doctoral program at Argosy, but unfortunately, in the middle of the program, Argosy is closed down, and I was fortunate enough to have my credits from Argosy transferred to the other school so I could finish the program, and I finished the program. So now, Dr. Bryant says she tried to contact the school, and I was wondering, did she try parchment.com?
No, she said verbatim, she contacted financial aid. That was the largest red flag.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, that was all lies because people have already stated where they got their transcripts from. I believe this lady probably came up with that information that she went there because the school was closed, and for some reason she thought that was going to work. And I didn't realize that there were so many universities that actually closed. So when I first did my video, I was like, well, if you go to a school that's closed, your degree is invalid. But I didn't know that if the school closes, you could still access your transcript. So,
well, Lakeysha, my theory from actually watching it again with us all is maybe she did get a degree from Argosy, but because it shut down, she decided to lie and say that she got a doctorate. So she thought I was going to run with this and say X, Y, and Z, but she really has a lower degree, possibly, but she doesn't really have a doctorate. And then the story just got more and more convoluted because, like I said, who the hell, when their school closes, you only go to financial aid when you are enrolled and you are like trying to finance your semester. You never call them for anything else.
Right. So Dr. Steele, what was your experience? Obviously, like you say, you got your transcript sent over to another school. You didn't have a problem with that.
Right. I didn't have a problem. I didn't have a problem. I think let's see, I went to Parchment, applied for that transcript for my master's program. And I think it was like 2 days later that other university got it. 2 days later. So now, evidently Dr. Bryant has been lying because somebody would have told her about parchment.com and she would have checked it out then, but no. Evidently she didn't. She lied.
Right, absolutely. And I said on a previous video, when I graduated with my bachelor's degree, I would always contact the school to get my transcripts. Then when I went for my master's, I said, listen, I'm going to make sure I keep transcripts. So I had never contacted the school in probably 10 years. And now they have Parchment. So I didn't really know the procedure for Parchment, except I had got transcripts from my son. So I said, you know what? I took a class at Argosy. I didn't graduate from them. I had took a class and I had ended up stopped going. So I said, I'm going to request my transcripts. It went through the normal procedure. When did you, what year did you go? You paid a fee. And I was like, this lady is lying. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, I just come up here to say that I want to thank you for having me up here.
Okay, well, thank you. Now, are you a therapist? So what do you do?
Educator.
Oh, you're
an educator.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Dr. Steele. You have a great rest of your day.
You too.
Ask a Brother podcast. Is it Jeff St. James?
Yes, ma'am. How are you?
Okay. I'm great. Thank you for being here.
Awesome. Yeah, I saw you covering this and you've been killing it for the last 6 months. So I was like, man, she got into my wheelhouse. This is actually what I do for a living. So I'm happy that you're covering it.
Are you a therapist?
Yeah, I am. Believe it or not. Yeah.
So we definitely want to hear what you got to say. Let me sit on back here, my chick.
You know what? Before I say anything, is there a particular question? You know what? Let me do it the reverse. I've been working in the field for about 12 years. I am licensed as of still now. I'm actually looking to get my professional coaching certification potentially at the end of this month as well. Certified as a PTSD consultant and trainer. And I've worked in prisons, schools, and mental health outpatient facilities for the throughout this stint. And I've worked in Wilmington, Camden, and Philadelphia. And I would say I've onboarded or hired or trained or promoted over 20 plus Black and brown women over the last decade. So that's my background. So I kind of, it was very interesting to see Miss Bryant hit the scene and a lot of the stuff that she's been saying and kind of espousing. And I'm happy to see that more and more people are actually interested in finding out about this whole background process. But oh God, a lot of the stuff that she said has been way off. The first and Kyle, Mr. Sterling, man, you've been killing it in terms of, I don't know if she has a PR team or if she's by herself, but the first thing she needed to do is shut up. She better stop talking, because everything she's saying right now, I think the chickens are probably going to come home to roost. And very, very people who can get to her first are those who have ever paid for a service. If they paid for a service with the understanding or belief that they thought that she was A, licensed, A therapist, or B, an actual psychologist. And if she can't, she can say she don't have to prove it to God, but she would have to prove it to a judge. So those people are the first lines of defense. If you actually paid for a service based off the premise that you believe how she marketed and presented herself, that she was those things and she wasn't, not only are you potentially entitled to a refund, that's an actual class action lawsuit. So yeah, the very first thing I'll say is, you know, if the easiest way to make this go away is for her to just get the proof. That's it. Yeah.
And I didn't realize until I was watching a TikToker, and that's, you know, I had said that she committed wire fraud, because I had to look it up. So what the hell is that? So wire fraud is actually the act of deceiving someone, saying that you are something that you're not, with hopes to get them to pay for the thing you're pretending to be. And I was like, that's why I said this lady can actually get herself in trouble. Now, she could have provided services and said, I'm doing this based on my life experiences. But when you say you are a therapist, or you were a therapist, but you decided not to renew your license, you are still saying that you are credentialed in this field, and she's not. That's
also, Lakeysha and Jeff, thank you for the words. I was going to say that she also released a book, didn't she not? Like 50 Cent would like published a book for her. So they already have the evidence right there if she was stupid enough to also put this in the book.
You know what it is? And this is where I'm going to at least be honest. I just, recently reacted to this as well. This isn't just about the potential grifter or the alleged grifter. I do think this is about the standard in our community of who we allow into our rooms, in our marriages, and into our relationships. Sometimes it really does take a good looking face, a nice smile, and some charisma. And that's kind of sufficient. And we don't often do due diligence. And between the men that kind of platformed her and the women that financially supported her, I think a lot of us just kind of let this kind of slide for a while and just assume certain things. But in reality, in hindsight, is now 2020. Everybody can look back and be like, oh, I knew when it was this and I knew when it was that. For those of us who are actually trained in it, if you were a master's master's level counselor, if you've gone to a graduate program, if you went through clinical social work, if you've gone even beyond with the psychology, there is a foundational clinical language that we use. Every field, has a way that they talk to each other, right? They got their, every field, they got their acronyms, they have their shorthand words. There's a way in which you conceptualize how to do your job and how you look at issues and solve problems. And then when it comes to mental health, outside of her using words like trauma and high functioning and low functioning, almost nothing she ever says sounds actually clinical.
Right.
If I'm gonna be honest, it's you know what it is? It's the equivalent of when you go to hang out with your family or friends and your aunt is telling you about how she's feeling about your choices in life, and she's basing it off of just what she's experienced. That's usually about it.
That's exactly, you are so on the money. When I hear this lady talk and people were like, she's so knowledgeable, I said, are you serious? This lady is literally talking to you from her own experience. She's not giving you any terms that's related to psychology. I know because I'm in therapy. A lot of times when I'm talking in my therapy sessions, I am talking, my therapist will interject But when she's interjecting, she's either interjecting to ask me questions to make sure she's understanding what I'm saying, or maybe ask me some questions, because what she's essentially trying to do is see how she can best help me. This lady is like your girlfriend from the streets, up the street. She's not providing you anything that she learned in school. I had a couple like those, and I was like, nah, this is not what I'm looking for. So
the issue. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just saying she just doesn't. She doesn't have it. Like, I don't get education from her. I just don't get it.
Lakeysha, I was going to add on to what you were saying. I was going to say that I agree with that. She sort of tropes like the line of like Iyanla Vanzant. Like, she starts to insert herself in a lot of interviews. I saw the interview with Jason Lee, and she was telling him about his love life. And from my experience with therapists, it's not like they tell me what to do. They sort of listen to what I'm saying, and then they give me homework, but they don't ever insert themselves. And am I wrong for asking that, like Jeff? Like, because I'm not in this field, but I feel like she tries to tell people what to do and why their love life is wrong. And I don't feel like therapists or actual like experts do that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so there's different orientations, there's different theoretical models, there's different approaches, right? Some people are more direct, some people are more reserved, some people lead more with asking more questions. Someone, you know, it really is about the orientation. But like Lakeysha said, if we're going to be honest, like, it doesn't sound like almost any theoretical models or approaches that we've actually been trained for, and that's the problem. It is kind of like what you said, and this is a good takeaway. When we listen to people online, especially those who claim certain titles, a great way to, as a measuring barometer, is to just ask a simple question. Are they always declaring everything? Are they always speaking from an authoritative lens? Or are they speaking from a more intellectually curious lens that usually looks at things from more than one angle? So she uses a level of framing where much of the time that she was covering it, the reason why her audience loved her, I'm going to be honest with you, she was getting up on stage, getting up on platforms, and holding men, powerful and rich, wealthy men accountable and for her audience. And they liked it and they got off on it. That's what this was about. They didn't need to know if she had a doctorate. They didn't even care if she had one. She made them feel good to know somebody can finally say something to Cam Newton. We can finally humble Nick Cannon. This is what it was about. And when she started doing little slip ups, you know, she said, I don't need a license. I don't need this. You don't need to do that. But there was one thing that she did last year that kind of, I knew this day would come. She was on some podcast with a couple gentlemen, and they asked her, with what's happening in the dating market right now, who do you think is most at fault? And she said she sees men being more reasonable now and believing that women are more delusional.
She sure did.
That was it. That was it. When she made that.
Which podcast was that?
I got to look it up. It was two brothers, and forgive me, brothers, for not being able to quote y'all. But when she's made that comment, remember, she built up almost her entire audience pandering to women and trying to humiliate and shame men. That was how she built up her platform. So when she bit the hand that fed her, now everybody's a lot more interested in her background and proof. And now all of a sudden, where's the transcripts? When she was saying what she was saying to Cam Newton, they didn't care. They didn't care about that.
Don't mean to cut you off, but one of the things, when I start looking back at this lady, I said, I got it. I know what she did. The only thing she did was marketed herself. They tell you, if you want to sell your product, market it. That is the only thing she did. She marketed herself. She jumped on these platforms. And like you said, she challenged Cam Newton. Y'all know people been talking shit about Cam Newton all in the comments. They love that. That resonated with them. So instead of looking up her credentials, they was like, yeah, she told Cam Newton, yeah, I'm glad somebody told. Nobody checked for credentials, because what she did is she followed her marketing play. That's all she did.
Boom. Yep. And beyond that, so what she's now experiencing is what I will call the Kevin Samuels effect. When you start talking to and about women and it's not in the affirmative, wait for ways to come. They gonna come for you in all the ways that they could try to cancel you. And now I said on my platform, welcome to the show. Welcome to the crowd of when you try to walk that line and try to tell men and women things that you think they're doing wrong. If you built up your whole audience that's only focused on wanting you to do the performance when it comes to coming at men, now you're going to get people that now don't like you. Now all of a sudden they're questioning her credentials. Now the things that she's been out for years, she's been doing this for years, and to give the lady some people credit, what's his name? Corey Holcomb was early on this. Dr. Raquel Martin was early on this. Dr. Paging Shonda, absolutely. There were individuals who were starting to raise the alarms of concerns, but overwhelmingly her actual audience, they never cared. And then when this stuff is happening, they move the goalpost. Well, she doesn't need it anyway. It doesn't matter. Okay.
Right.
If it didn't matter, why did she claim to have it?
Exactly. And that's the problem. The problem is you presented yourself with something that you didn't have, which is saying that you are fraudulent. You're a fraud. We didn't come looking for you, lady. We didn't even know who you was. You presented yourself to the world as a doctor. You didn't say your name was Cheyenne Bryant. You said Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. So the issue lies with you, because this is how you went after this audience, because you told them you had all this experience and you had the answers, and that's why we're here.
Also, real quick, I want to run this by y'all. I'm thinking of like a script of things, a list of things to kind of help us as an audience and people who aren't familiar with some of these fields. What's the script, or what's the top 10 ways to be able to identify a grifter? And this is one that I think, and I'm going to see what y'all think about it. Whenever someone professes to be a specialist, an expert at a particular field, look at who they surround themselves with on platforms. Do they ever stick next to them? Do they ever surround themselves? Do they ever go into back and forth conversations with people who would know if they're bullshitting?
That's a good one. That is a great.
Was she sitting down with athletes and rappers, or was she sitting down with psychologists and licensed professionals?
And that's what I was going to say too. Like, I brought up before, she came into our, like, at least my knowledge by being on Basketball Wives. I don't know anybody who would be like a lawyer or any type of real legit field. I mean, besides Married to Medicine, you know what I'm saying? But like, why would you come in and introduce yourself on Basketball Wives? And we saw her trying to fight somebody. So that was my little red flag, but I try to always give people the benefit of the doubt. But we see on Twitter all the time, Black Twitter specifically, they always go on witch hunts for people that are not even educated or celebrities. So did you think that you were going to be this big public figure and nobody was going to do their research and do a little witch hunt on you? They do it to everybody. So I just think she misplayed her hand, and now it's a shit show.
She refers to her supporters as sheep. Well, she refers to her supporters as sheep. So I don't think that this is nearly as shocking and surprising as I think we want to make it out to be. People saw in her what they wanted to see. And I think we do that with the people we tend to follow, if we'll be honest.
It sounds like Trump.
But we do it with Meg Thee Stallion. Some of us do it with Trump. Some of us do it with Obama. Some of us do it with you name it. We have this parasocial relationship with these people we don't actually know, where we'll attribute positive traits to people that we like, and people that we don't like or don't agree with, we now demonize. And I think that's what's happening now with this type of situation.
You are so correct. I had to mentally stop doing that, because I want to like you, but tomorrow I may criticize you. That's how I want to be, because we should be independent thinkers. You can like somebody and don't agree with this. You can like somebody and don't agree with that. So I like that you said that. That is absolutely correct. And in this social media world, you can like somebody and let's say I'm doing commentary and it's a good video, but tomorrow, oh no, you did this. Even your people in the comments will get mad, because they'll say, well, why are you talking about this person? I thought you supported this person. I can like you and not agree with you.
Well, it's called being objective.
It doesn't work when they've equated criticism with dehumanization. So now when you say something negative or critical about Cheyenne Bryant, now you hate black women. Now you hate, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So we're now in an era where people can't take nothing, don't want to hear anything. And if you say anything critical or challenging, they're now saying that you hate black people, hate yourself, hate your mama, hate black women. This is where it gets to where that's actually how she's gotten to this point. If she was a different race and our community was aware of what was going on, they would have exposed it sooner. That's it. She was a black woman. She had pretty privilege, a little bit of colorism. She was light skinned. She was able to get into platforms and spaces that the Dr. Raquel Martins of the world would probably not been able to. If she looked a little different, if she was a little darker, she probably wouldn't have been sitting in front of Cam Newton. That's the truth.
That's correct. Now, where can people find you at?
Oh, goodness. Funny, it's weird because I still literally have my license. I don't really market myself. But I mean, listen, Ask a Brother podcast. If they come to my channel, all my links is there. I'm trying to switch more into coaching and consulting personally. Now, this is what I will give her credit for, and I will acknowledge that I actually agree with her to an extent. There are limitations that comes with having your license and working under a regulatory or ethics board. And some of those limitations are legit. They're good. They do protect the consumers, but there's actual other limitations, especially when it comes to personal morals and values. Your morals and values and ethics can actually only go as far as the field allows. So if children come in and they say that they want to express something or do something that I vehemently disagree with, if I don't affirm that, I could wind up losing my job, career, or license. So that's why for me, I want to be able to be a little bit more open with being able to talk to and work with and stand up against anything that I foresee that may be a problem, even within the field. So yeah, like I said, but yeah, if people just look at my channel, all my links is there. But Lakeysha Keysha, I gotta say, sis, I think I started seeing your stuff around January. Ma'am, I hope I never get on your bad side because your investigation skills, my God, jeez.
You know what? The crazy part, when I first started doing YouTube, that was one of my problems because I said, well, I don't want to say stuff about people I like. So YouTube helped me to break that. I feel like I can like people and still disagree. And sometimes people be like, you hate. And I'm like, yeah, I don't have a hateful bone in my body. I'm just brutally like I can talk about see him tomorrow and be like, hi. So, you know what I mean? It just comes natural. And I think it's just really who I am. But like I said, when I started on YouTube, y'all got to plug up my computer. When I started on YouTube, give me a second because my computer is dying. Y'all got to go.
Nah, man. And it's cool because I started YouTube last year myself. And it's been really cool trying to do something similar to what she does. You're just trying to cover topics through the lane of what you truly believe. And it doesn't actually matter how much you actually like somebody as a person. When you're truly trying to be objective like that, yeah, you're gonna make some enemies, but I think your audience is going to respect the fact that they know what you're putting out there. They really know that's your actual thoughts. And I started last year as well, so this is still new territory for me as well, though.
All right. Sorry about that. I had to plug up my computer because I didn't want it to shut down. But yeah, like I said, YouTube really helped me to, to be able to express my thoughts and really don't care. You know what I mean? Because one thing I want to be is authentic. I don't want to like somebody and then you like them. You can't say anything bad. Like sometimes people will say, oh, well, you just support Corey because you went on his show. No, there's some times that I have criticized Corey, but I don't think people understand Corey. He's a comedian. He say a lot of stuff that I may not agree with, but I believe it's about the respect. You can criticize people. You ain't got to drag them. I mean, I do drag some of the ones I really don't like, but I'm just saying you can criticize without dragging, if that makes sense.
Well, people clickbait, so that's the problem. It's like they'll take a small clip from somewhere and people run with it instead of watching the whole interview. So that's why I think a lot of conflicts start, because people don't see the whole interview or see the context of what people are saying. And a lot of these blogs do that, like the Shade Room and all these other brands. They'll take a small snippet of a podcast and then you'll think people are beefing. So I think people need to actually read articles and actually watch the whole thing. Like Lakeysha, I was showing you the Touré thing. Like you have to do your research instead of just like take whatever's being fed to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now listen, man, I agree. I do think that when it comes to doing content creation and being podcasters and stuff, like I said, I'm new to this myself. I've only been doing it for about a year. There are moments that you forget that the internet is real and that you forget that there's people actually watching you. I've only been doing this for a year and a half, and people will randomly walk up to me in person and say like, yo, I loved what you talked about back 6 months ago. Like, I forget that these letters, these words, these names we see on the screen, it's actual hundreds or thousands of people that's watching you. And I think what's happening is we're seeing people be human at times, and they're dealing with the consequences of showing your humanness on the internet or online, social media. Most people don't have thousands of people interested in what they do day to day, including their mistakes. When it comes to what we do for a living, we're also on the chopping block as well. So when you become a social figure, everything that you fear and could imagine and what you'd be excited for, it gets magnified both directions. Things that could be really, really positive. You may have awesome opportunities that you would have never had if people didn't know you exist. But when you make a mistake, hundreds, if not thousands of people now either hate you or demonize you or don't like you anymore. And it comes with the territory. So I've learned exactly like Lakeysha. It's true. You cannot be successful at this if you're not going to be willing to just be honest with what you actually think and feel. So that's why I actually appreciate your channel and love what you do.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you so much.
Sure. Oh yeah, absolutely. Listen, I'm gonna DM you when later today, and listen. I gotta interview you. That's my goal. I'm gonna get you on one day.
I know what we're gonna talk about, but see, let me just make sure y'all understand. When I'm not on here, I don't even talk. This is the most I talk all day. Just so y'all know. I'm really an introvert. This is the most I talk.
Funny. Well, listen, thank you for letting me come through though.
Thank you. �R𝐸ZE in the house. What up, though, 𝐸R𝐸ZE?
What's going on, sis? Is my mic okay?
We can hear you. We hear you loud and clear.
Yeah. I haven't really covered her a lot on my channel. I'm getting a lot of information from you, sis. You've been helping me out a lot. And but when I think of what she was trying to represent as far as her being a doctor, I watch people like Tracy Marks. She's a psychologist on YouTube. Huge platform YouTuber. Also, shout out to the lead attorney, and there's several others I watched that have actually practiced professionally. And one thing that I can say is that what they share in common is they really do. They might tread the lines of humor or whatever, but they still care about how they represent themselves.
Absolutely.
What you show as far as her twerking and all that kind of stuff, sis, I was like, man, this girl can't be no damn doctor. I mean, golly, you're scrubbing the ground. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so I remember when, to be honest with you, sis, I think she needs a therapist. I think she needs, she talking about she is one.
That part.
She need one, because I remember when she was on what's the old boy name that used to play for the Celtics? What's his name? He has a talk show with a young Latin girl. I forgot his name. They used to call him the franchise. That I forgot his name, but he has a talk show talking about relationships. Somebody will tell me in the chat. But she actually appeared on his talk show, and she went into detail about her actual personal life, and she went to bragging about how she got 2 boyfriends, and she dating dudes at the same time, and one of her men was like really young, like 29 or 30 years old, and she really liked him young.
Paul Pierce?
Yeah, Paul Pierce.
Okay.
Paul Pierce, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So y'all need to go check out that show where she was on Paul Pierce shows. It's like a dating show. It's a relationship show. I was like, damn, she really putting all of this out there, and she bragging about it, like she a bad bee. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I was like, nah, she a fraud. She got to be a fraud, because I don't know nobody who actually has been in the professional world, especially dealing with people's minds, would actually even be flaunting this type of stuff online, and the last thing I want to say is, when did she have time to even go to school and get all of these credentials? Because she's been on if people remember, she's been on shows with Zoe Williams, Corey Holcomb, way back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, wow.
She was on podcasts trying to do this social media thing a long time ago. So I'm thinking to myself, when did she have time to do all this extensive studying and everything? That's what I wanted to land with. So
the interesting part, which you just said, and that's what I like about Corey. He does tell the truth. People just discount him because they feel like they don't like his comedy or he say the B word. And see, that's what I say. You don't have to agree with how a person presents their comedy, but you do it separate. What he had been saying about this lady for a long time was true. He said this lady was a stripper. He also said what you just said. When did she go to school? They have been knowing this lady for years. He said, this lady just came up. She just recently, not that long ago, came up with this doctor stuff. He said she was not. So if she was a doctor and been doing this for 15, 20 years, they knew her back then. And she was I guess, working in some nightclub. So when did you go to school? When did all of this happen?
And Lakeysha, if somebody called me a stripper, if I was a doctor, right, I would be suing them or I would be publicly saying something towards that. I feel like what's a red flag to me is that she's never responded to that. So that's a little weird to me. How are there stripper allegations and you're quiet and you've not said anything towards it? So
anything towards the degree either. So I guess I wouldn't say anything either. I mean, if you can't find your transcript, somebody call you a stripper, I just let it ride. Go find your transcripts. But this has been a very interesting conversation. And I think my main concern with this is, y'all, therapy is real. Like, damn near everybody in my house go to therapy, because what I realize is we all go through something that we need to talk to a therapist about. As a mother, I cannot help I have 3 grown, they're grown-ups. I say, listen, you think you need to talk to a therapist, not because they got mental stuff going on. Sometimes they may not want to talk to me. You know what I mean? I don't know. So I always say, get you a therapist. That don't mean that you're crazy or you nothing is going on with you. But I feel like when you're sitting down with a therapist, you're being vulnerable. This woman is out representing herself as a therapist. That's like the last line where people like, I need to talk to somebody. Because some people are on the edge, like that military lady. And I wish House of Hypocrites was here, because I saw a video where he said that he talked to the lady and that she was revealing that allegedly Dr. Cheyenne was telling her she low functioning. Like, how do you tell a person that's saying that they try to take their life that they low functioning?
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like what was that lady's name? Stormy, Coach Stormy, when she was telling the lady that her plate was low vibrational and everybody dragged her about that. Like that's just weird. What
you talking about, the barbecue when they had the hot dogs and the hamburgers and they paid like $10,000 a plate or something like that?
Right. And she had some type of retreat, and somebody got on her for having like paper plates and stuff like that, and they was dragging her. But it's like there is a certain level of decorum. I think that's what she was trying to get at before. I don't have an issue per se with her twerking, because you could be a politician and you could be a whatever. We all know how to dance. It's just more about me in my age. I'm 36. I don't post stuff anymore. Like when I'm having my drinks, I don't get on IG stories or go live. Everybody does what they do. But I agree to your point, like a doctor would not be posting them taking shots in the club. But we all do it, you know what I'm saying? But she doesn't know the line of professionalism or like when to pull back. And that's what's dragging her now. Like all these interviews, she's talking about, I don't give a F and only God and all. Like, who talks like that? Like either you have it or you don't. And if I don't have it, I'm going to shut the hell up.
Yeah. And I too, Keysha, I'm in therapy as well. I've been in therapy for about a year and a half. And shout out to my therapist, and what we talk about in comparison to how I hear her talks it's night and day. I don't hear any terminologies that I actually hear. That we talk about cognitive distortions, we talk about intrusive thoughts, and you know, all of that kind of stuff. And I don't hear her talking about this. What is low vibrational and high vibration?
Yeah, that was Coach Stormy. Coach Stormy was talking at BS.
But as if she came up with these terms. Do you know anything else, lady? What is it? That's the only thing she keeps saying. Low functioning, high. Girl, what? Like, and that's what the last person was. What is his name? The podcast. I can't remember his name. I'm so bad with names, but that's what he was saying. Where's the terminology? Like, where are the words that you learned in school, ma'am?
Yeah, well, only time I've heard that language is towards addiction, like high functioning addict. Like you can go to work and still use substances and still make it to work, right? But I've never heard that language in terms of like everyday stuff or psychological stuff, if that makes sense. I think she just heard it and just ran with it. It's almost like everybody runs with being triggered, or these catchwords that they hear online, and everybody's a narcissist, everybody's triggered, everybody's this. She heard some stuff, and to people that are not that educated, she sounds bright. But to people that are educated, we don't think that she's that special, if that makes sense.
Let me call out some of these really quick. Let me call out some of the super chat. T Tropical 1, thank you for the $5. Cheyenne Bryant and Tasha K can start a prison podcast. They go in behind them bars. You funny. Now we have Wally J47. Thanks for the $10. As a California licensed psychotherapist and LCSW, I've reported her. Thank you, because I'm going to be reporting her ass too. And you can, it's illegal. California Board of Psychology and BBS, Federal Trade Commission, California Attorney General. I will be doing a video. I'm reporting her. When I saw that video of her laughing as if this is funny, yeah, that's not cool. Thank you. Oh my gosh, 𝐬𝐮𝐫𝐞𝐿. Thank you so much for the $99. Thank you. I'm just here to support fact-finding content creators. Thank you so much for your support. Stanley Worthy 4163. Thank you for the $19.99. I thank you guys so much for the super chats, because you don't have to send them in, but I definitely appreciate. So 𝐟𝐸𝐶y also has his own channel. Like I said, he does lives all the time. I don't do them all the time. I'm getting better at it, but his channel is No Captivity with 𝐟𝐸𝐶y. Y'all check him out.
Thank you, sis. And y'all don't listen to Keysha. Keysha is an excellent live streamer. She just be talking. Y'all see how she doing her thing up here? Like, she got it lit. All right.
I have to listen to that.
All right.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And I want to say this because I'm gonna drop, sis. I'm gonna let y'all close out the show, but I'm gonna say this. You mentioned House of Hypocrites. I talked to House of Hypocrites on the phone the other day. He told me, he was like, man, the Cheyenne Bryant lady, she been blocked. She blocked him on Instagram and everything. She blocked all his stuff.
She ain't blocked me yet. Really?
Listen, but you know, when I was on the phone, I was like, dang, she be watching y'all. She be watching people. Like, she watch people. She got to be watching all the time. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure she watching you, sis. She watching the hell out of you.
Yeah, tell them how to do. See, I also have a spy page. So even if they block me, you know, I got another page. So, you know.
Well, I think it's also the algorithm. So if you search certain things, it pops up on YouTube, for instance. So if you have enemies or anything like that, YouTube, Instagram, they search whatever you're searching for, right? So that's the thing as well. Like, she can find you from people tagging her, but YouTube's algorithms will bring you to her, if that makes sense. And I wanted to laugh at a comment real quick. Somebody called her a professional hoodbooker. I was dying laughing. I was like, how y'all gonna call her a professional hoodbooker?
How? I'm gonna tell you how, because I know you said that there's nothing wrong with dancing. as somebody that's a little older than her, it's nothing wrong with dancing, but doing this right here, no. No more. I don't give a damn what nobody says. This is some shit you do at your house when nobody got their phones out. You don't go to a club doing this.
Yeah, I wouldn't post it. I personally wouldn't, because it's about image. Like, if she was a video girl or like Bernice Burgos or something, then it's whatever. But when you're trying to be doctor, it's a little weird.
I'm not trusting no woman in her 40s that's doing that.
What Kyle said, Bernice Burgos, I think that's who she really wants to. She wants to be a sex symbol. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what she really wants. And she's just tried to make it into, some people try to make it in, make it up the social media ladder the best way they can, whatever way they can. They're going to come in through any door they can. And Cheyenne Bryant is one of those people. We talk about Antoine Daniels all the time. He's one of those people. You know, I will say this. One credit I will give these type of people, they're just good at what they do as far as the grifting, and they're fast talkers, they're quick thinkers, quick-witted, and you know, they know how to, I ain't gonna lie, I gotta give them credit, because the way they talk, it's so con artistry, you know what I'm saying? Like,
but it's about being objective. It's about being, we were talking about that earlier, like you have to separate your liking or how they sound and actually look up what they're saying. So, you know.
Yeah.
So this is what I think, 𝐟𝐸ZY. I don't have a problem talking about my background. When I was young, I used to scheme and do whatever I needed to do. When I was scheming, that scam was right, because ain't no scam I ever did I got caught for. When you in that scam mentality, that's what you do, because you know you lying, you know you up to no good, and it all flows. When you ain't scheming and scamming, you don't put it together like that, because when you scheming and scamming, you gotta look right, because if you don't, people gonna start looking at it a certain way. But when you authentic, you just do your thing. Think about it. When you scheming and scamming, you know you gotta hit it and make sure it lands.
But Lakeysha, to add to your point, when you were doing it, you weren't doing it publicly, and you were not trying to be a figure. That's where people get caught.
That's true.
You know.
That's true.
Yeah, they taking it to another level, sis. On social, you know.
Well, and see, that's only because back in the days we didn't have social media. Okay, we didn't have Now people have social media and they can promote themselves. But what they fail to realize is these people on social media, they got the internet, they gonna look this stuff up. And that's the part that they missing. But I'm glad that she's being exposed, because people need to feel okay getting therapy, not feeling like they getting scammed and lied to. Like, that's not how it goes.
Especially when you're playing with people's heads. That's serious. You know. So.
I agree with you. I feel like but I was going to add to what y'all was saying. Social media is the #1 reason why people are getting caught by the feds now. Like, Atlanta has a whole fraud unit at this moment, because they're catching people on these yachts and flexing with these cars and stuff like that. And I actually was educated on the fact that when they start doing RICO cases and all these investigations, they start getting the evidence from social media. And I was like, that's insane. So I'm like, use your brain. Like, if you want to scheme and scam, do it in a sophisticated way. And I'm not saying to do that, but like, don't try to be a figure, and don't try to, because you're going to come down. And we saw this with Diddy. Like, Diddy thought he was on top of the world. And then look at him now. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Well, I'm going to drop down, y'all. Sis, thank you for having me. I appreciate you. I think is this my first time joining you on the show, on the live stream?
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, 𝐟𝐸ZY, before you go, I want to ask you, do you think that black men are enabling her? Because I brought this up earlier, how Joe Budden and Cam Newton and a few other people, the only person that's called her out that I've seen has been Corey Holcomb with Lakeysha shared. But I feel like, how do you feel about these men that I assume are attracted to her, are just like being a little neutral, but like Joe Budden has an opinion on everybody under the sun, but all of a sudden Cheyenne Bryant, he's real like quiet.
Yeah, so when it comes to a woman like Cheyenne Bryant, the way she presents herself, because she's not an ugly woman, right? And she dresses up. So a lot of men, I hate to say it, but a lot of men, they're easily swooned and they're easily impressed and all that kind of stuff by a woman's looks. I remember Kevin Samuel used to say it all the time, and he actually told on a lot of men. They're visual creatures. They can't think past, you know, just the surface level, you know, when it comes to how a woman looks and everything. So yeah, just to answer your question, Kyle, I think she has influenced a lot of men, and to the point where she had got a lot of men on her side. And the one thing I noticed is most of the podcasts she showed up on was men's podcasts, like Cam Newton and Joe Budden, just to name a few. And maybe, I don't know if that was, do y'all think that was strategic, you know, just showing up on a lot of males podcasts?
Oh, absolutely. She flirted with a lot of them too.
One thing we have to say about the woman, she's smart, but she's street smart. The lady is not smart. She know how to run that game. She know getting up on them men platform that they were going to look at her looks and they will not be able to challenge her. That's why when you go look at, what podcast do you see her go on of a Black woman, period? You see her go on, what is it, Marissa or whatever, and then she may have did a Tamara Hall show, but you see no interviews. You know why? Because a Black woman don't care about how you look. We're not looking at your looks. She goes on men podcasts because she knows they're gonna be smitten by the looks.
Yeah. All she got to do is show a little cleavage, you know, and that's all it takes.
I've noticed she also, like, she flirts. I don't want to say flirt, but she also like caters to them a little bit. And that also adds, like, she's attractive, but she's also using that psychology with them, and they're smitten by that, like you were saying. So she is smart in that sense, but it's like, and you mentioned Tamara Hall, but Tamara Hall is pretty safe. She doesn't really, like, you know, try to drag people. Tamara Hall, I like her, but she's not one of those interviewers like a Barbara Walters, you know what I mean? Like, not gonna ask you the hard questions. So I agree with y'all.
All right, Freezy, I know you trying to get out of here. Thank you for coming.
Okay, I appreciate you, sis. Thank you. You're killing it out here. I'm always watching you. And Kyle, it was great meeting you, man. It was great chopping it up with you too.
Nice meeting you too.
Appreciate you. Okay.
So one of the questions, somebody said how she got on, how did she get on Club Shay Shay? So I did mention this a little earlier. So I'm gonna say allegedly, Brooke Bailey allegedly said that was a favor. So they're saying that somebody that Cam Newton knew basically let her come on the show. That is what I'm hearing. Stanley Worthy 4163. Thank you for the super chat, $19. The oldest trick in the book is the devil making you think she don't exist, right? Right, because we know the devil working through Cheyenne.
Right.
Okay, wait a minute, Stanley, you got another one here. Stanley 4163, 1999. It's going to be a lot of slow singing and flower ringing when them feds have her telephone stop ringing. Right. Yeah. I don't think this is going to go away anytime soon. Stanley, thank you. You sent like 3 super chats. Stanley Worthy 4163, 1999. Thank you so much. But I don't believe that this is going to end well for her. And in all honesty, I really want this hoe to get in trouble simply because she goes onto social media and doubles down and pretty much give people the finger. And I think that's so foul. People trusted you with information, vulnerable information, and you go online and call them haters, tell them they stupid. Come on now.
Right. And I want to agree with you, Lakeysha, how she sort of told on herself was when she was emasculating Touré. Like, I don't feel like anybody that's educated with a doctorate would respond or be like, you need to shut the F up. And like, when I don't have a doctorate, but I'm very quick, right? So when I'm in battle with somebody else, I went to debate school and stuff. I wait for a person to talk, and then I listen to whatever they're saying, and then I try to find whatever I want to hold on to. And I'm like, you as a person with a doctorate, allegedly. You're sitting here talking about somebody's zesty and F you, and you need to shut the F up on a panel. Like, how do you sound? It just sounds crazy to me.
And she's attacking his wife. Like, his wife is like, I'm not sure what the wife has to do with it. So yeah, it was totally out of line. Stanley Worthy 4163. Thank you for becoming a member. But I dropped the link if anybody else wants to join. I want to jump back to this video that 𝐸 made, because not justifying what she did, she still didn't have a right to talk about his wife, to disrespect him, call him out of his name. But
Lakeysha, that wasn't on this. That wasn't on this. I just want to tell you that.
What do you mean that wasn't on this?
No, so on a 𝐸 video, like where she was talking about his wife and stuff, that's not on this specifically. He was talking about the exposing of her, and when he used to work with her, because they did some type of assignment together. I forgot what he said they did, but they worked together.
This video.
Yeah, it was in that other video you were showing on the panel.
Okay, well, let's finish this one. I'll look for that one.
Degree from the university that Miss Bryant reports herself to have. I have several questions and several points of clarification that will be made. The first is that the degree that she is speaking to is a Doctor of Education in Counseling Psychology from 𝐼𝐺𝑆 University. Parchment now holds all of the documentation from every student that attended that university. So she has access to her transcripts indefinitely. When you obtain a doctorate, people like to verify your credentials and verify that you obtained that degree. Moreover, you had to have completed a dissertation. I know because I did it for that degree. There are things that you should know off the top of your head, like what the title of your dissertation is. Mine is the Alabama CACREP and non-CACREP Counselor Education Graduate Students Readiness to Counsel Substance Use Disorder Clients. What is yours? Who's your dissertation chair? Mine was Dr. David Arena. I had one reader. You should have access to your dissertation, even if you don't have the full one, which is odd because they send you that too. You should have each chapter broken down because you send it in chapters. So where is it? And why are you unwilling to provide that information? Your clients deserve verification of your credentials. It is a part of our ethical compass and codes to do so. Not just with licensure, with any credentials that you use. The ACA.
Now, isn't that interesting? Because the therapist that came up, what did she say? Providing proof of your credentials. This is just what you're supposed to do. This is not a tug of war where you say, I don't need to provide it, or I don't have to provide it. Ma'am, actually, you do have to provide it. You actually should have it posted somewhere.
2014 ethical codes and standards require that any credential that you use needs to be backed up and verified and verifiable to all related boards and most especially to the client seeking your services. So the fact that you aren't willing to do that is problematic. It's disrespectful to the profession. It's disrespectful to your purported colleagues and most detrimentally to your clients. Please stop using them until you are willing to verify. Thank you.
So she's lying about being unable to get her transcripts. Within the long, winding story about being unable to get her transcripts, she said she had done it to apply to work at a law school. But she's never even claimed to have a law degree. So how are you going to teach at a law school with no law? But the question was not about transcripts, a record of the classes she took. It was about her dissertation, the big paper you write at the end that is the culmination of your academic career. If she had done a dissertation, she would be able to pull it up out of her computer, or it would be online already. It's not believable that you wrote a dissertation and now have no copies of it anywhere in the world and no way to access it. If you can't show it, if you can't prove you have a doctorate, if you can't provide any evidence, then maybe you should stop saying you have it.
Cheyenne Bryant went through all them loops and hoops to not clear up shit. So let me actually clear up what she was trying to say. What she was trying to say is, I don't have a doctorate degree. There is no dissertation. There is no documentation. I cannot show you a doctorate degree.
And honestly, that's exactly what she said in her own words. Ain't nobody going back and forth about no damn degree. If I am selling a service, I need you to know just how highly educated I am, because the more degrees I have, the more money I can charge you. So this lady charging $350, and I don't even believe this hoe got a high school diploma. $315, and you cannot provide these folks proof that you got a degree?
But I am a master's level clinician without licensure. That's what she said. She went on there and said, people just want to hate me. People online just want to hate me. Nobody hates this woman. But we as a community have a right to shift the narrative away from this grifting, online, social media bullshit and put our community back in the hands of professionals with years of education and years of applicable experience to the thing that they are calling themselves an expert in. And while she does have some knowledge, she does have some education, she does not have the credentials to talk as fucking heavy as she do and or to be providing anybody with any life assistance.
You've mastered the art of being a doctor on television.
How can you even imagine someone who did all that work and has
Y'all, this guy Teray is funny as hell. This why she really mad.
No receipts. And when someone asks you for receipts, you refuse to. This was the thrust of her next interview on the press tour from hell, because Marissa Mitchell in DC did not come to play.
Why not provide the proof of your degree? Why not?
Well, a couple of things, right? I have multiple degrees, and my thing is that
I'm just gonna fast forward this because I done heard that so much that it done irritated my soul.
Standing by it. Yeah, because I earned it. Absolutely.
The real answer to the question, why doesn't she just back down? Why doesn't she say she's not really a doctor? The real answer is this. Cheyenne is all about doubling down. It's central to her personality. She told me she never backs down. She always doubles down. And Stephen A. Smith was one of her broadcasting idols. From him, she learned never backtrack, only double down, no matter what. It sounds tough, but what it means is you have an opinion, you got information that contradicted your opinion or part of it, information that should make you rethink your opinion or part of it, but you refuse to change your opinion, and you're actually increasing your investment in it in spite of the countervailing information. When Stephen A. does it in a sports context, it's like, I picked the Lakers to win this series, but they're down 0-2, but I'm doubling down. I still believe. When a family and marriage therapist or a psychology expert, whatever that means, says they're doubling down, it means they're rejecting new information, new research, new knowledge. So when you say, it looks like you're not a doctor, she says, I'm doubling down on the fact that I am a doctor. An actual doctor would respond to the question with evidence. The Academy teaches you to be evidence-based and to look for and present evidence. That would be the way to address the question. But she's saying, no, I don't need to give you evidence because
my proof isn't something that I have to prove to individuals.
And that sounds shady. Who refuses to give evidence? People who think giving the evidence would be worse than being attacked for not giving the evidence. It's kind of like Trump with the Epstein files. What he's dealing with now?
Wait a minute. Somebody put that in the chat. She's acting just like Trump. Exactly.
She is. Verbal attacks because he won't release the files, the unending questions, all of that is better than actually releasing the real files and letting people discover what he really did. For him, appearing to be caught in a lie is better than us knowing the truth. That's where Cheyenne is. appearing to be lying about something like this is better than being unmasked as not a doctor at all.
Right, because she ain't no damn doctor. I don't care what nobody say.
She has only financial aid documents showing she paid for a doctoral program. And if you listen carefully, the word doctoral in this conversation becomes a sticking point because she can't even pronounce the word.
Yep,
she
said
pronounces
doctoral.
it doctorial.
I paid for a doctoral program.
One would say that if you can't even pronounce the word, who is going to believe that you actually have completed a doctoral program? What she wants you to believe is that she's a victim of a corrupt institution. Conveniently, not someone who made up whole cloth that she has a degree that she hasn't completed.
I paid for a doctoral program.
Let me tell you my Cheyenne story. For several months last year, we did a 4-person talk show where she and I were the lead voices. I tried to get clips of it, but the third party that holds the records only holds on to old videos for 2 years. So on the show, we kept coming back to the same intellectual argument. All of this was on the show, on the air. I'm not talking about anything behind the scenes. For me, at the core of this intellectual argument was what y'all have been saying through this press tour from hell. Is she really an academic? Is she really a doctor? See, I'm a parent of 2 teenagers, and I believe, because I have read and researched a lot on the subject, I believe parents should not hit children as punishment. There should be no corporal punishment in the home. I know that's triggering to a lot of people who are not child psychologists, but every major child psychologist today says it is definitely harmful to children.
People say, I hit my child to teach them. That's not how the brain works. A child cannot take in new information when they're in survival mode because all that oxygenated blood goes to the muscles to do all that fight or flight mode work. They're not hearing you. They're not processing information. They're trying to survive the moment.
Does spanking actually work? No. And this is really important for people to know is the data is clear on this, and no child development researcher would ever tell you that spanking is a good idea at this point. No child development researcher would ever tell you that spanking is a good idea.
The first time I said on the show that there should be no corporal punishment for children, I assumed that Cheyenne would, of course, co-sign that because she's a family and marriage therapist, or so I thought she was.
He says, so I thought she was. So we thought she was.
She claims to have a master's in family and child therapy. Surely someone who studied this deep in this field would agree with the major child psychologists of today. No, she said, and I quote, that gentle parenting stuff doesn't work. What?
Oh, y'all know what? This is a good, interesting segue. I don't know how long you guys have been watching, but do y'all see how this lady keeps contradicting herself? In the video that I just played you, what did she say? Gentle parenting does work. I'm going to have to play that. This is too much. This is why I say this lady is a fraud.
I was blown away that a person with a master's in child therapy and family therapy would seriously advocate for corporal punishment. The topic came up repeatedly, like every other show, and every time I said corporal punishment is wrong, and that's an opinion built on consuming modern child psychology. And every time she would say that gentle parenting stuff doesn't work. I was blown away by her opinion and by how she expressed herself. That gentle parenting stuff doesn't work is not how an intellectual talks. That's anti-intellectual.
Okay, guys, I want to stop here and I want to kind of switch gears because I can be wrong, but I could have sworn in this video she said gentle parenting actually works. And this is, part of what people are saying. She says one thing and says another.
Doc, what do you think about the notion of holding parents criminally responsible for their children's behavior?
I said it earlier. I said it's circumstantial. I think that if a parent is neglecting their child of what's needed for them to be mentally stable and healthy and be in a state of mind where they can actually, operate as a citizen who isn't impaired, then I think that that parent who's providing those resources, should not be have consequence or discipline. But again, if you're neglecting your child in any manner, I think there should be consequences to a parent, no matter what, if there's neglect at the hands of a child. But y'all know how I feel. I feel gentle parenting makes for a child. I think that there are rules and there's
Okay, now she agrees with gentle parenting. Let's rewind that.
And she was stuttering the whole time. What was that about?
A child. I think that there are rules and there's structure and there's a thing called boundaries, and boundaries have been proven to create healthy relationships, not just between people, but for that person within themselves. And if we raise kids with no boundaries and no structure and discipline, they go out into the world and they don't understand that, and they end up being consequences to a parent, no matter what, who isn't impaired, then I think that that parent who's providing those resources, should not be have consequence or discipline. But again, if you're neglecting your child in any manner, I think there should be consequences to a parent, no matter what, if there's neglect at the hands of a child. But y'all know how I feel. I feel gentle parenting makes for a child. I think that.
Okay, so again, she there agrees with gentle parenting, but according to Teray, she didn't agree with gentle parenting.
You're dismissing and denigrating and looking down on violence-free parenting. Shouldn't you, an advocate for talk therapy of all people, be advocating for talking solutions rather than violent solutions? A real academic would not say things like, that gentle parenting stuff doesn't work. They might somehow outline a perspective explaining why violence is sometimes acceptable in parenting, which is a laughable concept, but there is a way to express that idea that fits with the way people who come out of the academy tend to talk. That gentle parenting stuff doesn't work is not how an intellectual would talk. Certainly not one who's in the family and child psychology field. I appreciate all of those who are saying, girl, where are your official credentials? That matters. But also, usually we can hear your credentials when you talk.
That part. Usually we can hear your credentials when we talk. When this lady talks, I feel like this is a girlfriend from 10 years ago or so. She doesn't speak with nothing that comes out her mouth would make you think that she's been through school. What comes out of her mouth identifies that she's been through some things. Unfortunately, people, that is not education.
When I talk to my friends, Dr. Mark Lamont Hill, Dr. Michael Eric Dyson, Dr. Melissa Harris Perry, Dr. Cornell West, I don't have to ask what school they went to. I can hear the academy tumbling out of their mouths. I can hear it in their perspective and in the way they express themselves. When she talked, I couldn't hear advanced degrees.
I don't hear it either. So we're all saying the same thing.
So now that people are saying, hey girl, where did you go to school? Are you actually a doctor? I'm like, I get it. She plays a doctor on TV.
You've mastered the art of being a doctor on television.
So I've earned the title. I have multiple degrees, and I'm not going to prove anything to anybody.
Thank you for watching. Please like.
Oh, that was hilarious. That was an entitled, a true laugh. Like that was funny. So like he said, you play a doctor on TV. This lady is not a doctor. So tomorrow, guys, since we have gotten into this therapy stuff, I have a therapist that's going to come on, and we're, he's gonna, we're gonna still be, talking about this. And yeah, what y'all saying in the chat? What y'all saying in the chat here? Let's see. Someone said, did you notice? Oops. Did you notice she wore the same outfit like her co-host? I didn't notice that. Missed it. I missed it.
I feel like it's a shit show. She should stop doing interviews, disappear for a while, and I don't know. I feel like I said before, the feds are going to be taking all this information and they're just compiling it up, because if the lady in the comments said that she already filed a complaint, I'm sure plenty of people file complaints by now. So it's sort of sad, but she's going out very, very bad.
And still making comments on her Instagram, calling people miserable, basically telling them that they're broken inside. This lady is crazy. Like this don't even make any sense. Like, ma'am, you got caught lying. Now you start to attack people and, you know, basically tell them they stupid. Girl, I'm filing a report on your asshole. I am filing a report on you. I'm going to do a video and show everybody how to file a report. I don't like scammers. Now, I told y'all I used to scam. Now, that was when I was young. Like, I was like in my 20s. You know, I ain't know no better. But when I scammed, I didn't scam people, though. It was companies, okay? Just want to let y'all know I wasn't scamming regular, everyday people, okay?
Right.
So put that out there. This lady needs to be reported. Like I said, I'm going to do a video, and we're going to walk through how to report her. I don't feel anything for her other than her ass needs to be locked up. The fact that people question her degree, now she goes on her social media calling people stupid. This is sad.
Well, Lakeysha, if you notice, she met her match with Touré because she's used to black men like pacifying her or like flirting with her, finding her attractive. She subconsciously uses her looks to, like, you know, I don't want to say manipulate, but it possibly is a little bit of manipulation with these men that are attracted to her. Touré, it seems like he didn't find her to be drop dead gorgeous or something like that. He just looked at her like a regular person or as a professional, and he saw through everything. And she was like, oh my God, I got to shut this down. But instead of being logical, she started spiraling. And we see what she was talking about on that panel. Like, the problem when you play that clip again, because I didn't watch that panel before until you showed it, she started stuttering. And it was like, for a question that's simple, even like a person that's not educated, why would you start stuttering during that question? And like you said, she's double backing. Like, one time you don't agree with child punishment, and another time you do. It's like, what do you believe at this point? Like, you can't. And it's a lot of word salad. She reminded me of that lady that was on Trump's cabinet, Kellyanne Conway. She was talking about alternative facts, and everybody was dragging her. It's like, she wants to sound smart, and then people are literally like, huh? Like, that doesn't even make sense. And now she's not able to use her beauty and her presence and sounding smart because she's in rooms with people that are actually educated. How do you feel?
Let me just acknowledge this one. So News Girl 2 said she filed a FTC report as well with the BBS Board of Behavior Science yesterday for misrepresentation. So that is where you guys file, because she's in the state of California. Just so you know, when you file complaints, it differs depending on the state that they're in. So News Girl right here is on the screen. This is how you file for that particular state, guys. So if you want to file a report, there it goes. Now, to answer your question, I've watched a bunch of videos on her where she stutters, because it seems like she may prepare what she's going to say beforehand, and if it doesn't go in that manner, she's caught off guard. So I mean, I've saw that on other podcasts, so I'm not surprised.
Right. But I wonder, like, this is the thing that I'm confused about. Maybe she's always around like athletes and rappers. So because she's a little bit articulate, she thought she sounded smarter than what she was. And like you said, this preparation of answers, right? Why didn't you go to ChatGPT or Gemini and ask them what was the process of getting your transcripts? Where did you come up with this story about financial aid? And why did you think that was going to smooth over? Because that doesn't even make sense. Like, I personally, I asked ChatGPT a bunch of things not to say that it's perfect, but I ask it about things that I don't know. But the stories that she creates or the stuff that she prepares, I'm like, who's helping you prepare, girl? Like, where are you getting it from? Are you reading books? Like, and like I said, you hanging out with rappers and athletes, some of them didn't go to college. So they're like, oh, this girl is beautiful. She's smart. She's gorgeous. She's sound. And a doctor, a lawyer wouldn't find her smart. You get what I'm saying?
Right. So, I mean, I don't know. We can kind of figure out like, okay, why didn't she do this? Why didn't she do that? Good question. I want to know why the hell she did this. Like, I would have never came on and said I was a doctor knowing that I'm not. Like, girl, you don't have to be a doctor to be able to provide therapy. But again, the reason that she did it because she wanted to deceive the public and say she had a PhD because that's the highest level that you can be at. I mean,
right.
Did it. Why did she do it? I don't know. I mean, there could have been different ways she could have did it, but I'm glad she did it this way and that we talking about her and that she got caught because this is foul. This is not cool. Guys, if you can do me a favor and please hit the thumbs up, like the video. We got 948 thumbs up. And at one time we had almost 1,200 people in here. So if y'all can hit that would be great. But like I said, I'm about to end this. Y'all, we've been on here for 3 hours. This was a really good live. And, seeing that I know you guys like this topic, and since we've been talking about this lady, I have a therapist that's going to come on tomorrow, and I do have his certifications because I know y'all want to make sure that he is licensed. So hopefully we can continue this conversation. Now, I normally do not do lives on Fridays. I said Monday through Thursday, but we're going to do one tomorrow just because we got this momentum going and we just going to keep talking about it with hopes that this Cheyenne Bryant ass get locked up. Yeah, that's what I'm on. Thank you for joining, Kyle. I'll see you tomorrow. Go ahead.
Yeah, Lakeysha, I loved joining the live with you. We haven't spoken a long time. But yeah, the last point before we go, I just want to say another thing that she didn't realize is the dissertations are published. And I didn't know that either because I don't have a PhD. I've dated guys with them, but like, how did you not do your research and find out that like it's supposed to be published? Like, she was talking about transcripts. I'm like, girl, like, if you have a dissertation and it's published, it's supposed to still be online.
And that is why I said I don't believe she has a degree at all because these are okay. So I have a master's. If I wanted to go back to school and get a PhD, I know that you got to have a dissertation. That's why I'm not going. So how do you get a master's level and don't know what is required for the next level? So that's why I said I don't think she has no degree because she didn't have sense enough to know to not say that she had a PhD. That's crazy.
That doctor title was just so like, oh, doctor.
Right, because she wanted to sell herself as being top tier educated. That is what it was all about. She wanted to sell it because a PhD, a doctor, having that before your name, people consider you to be highly educated. And that's all that it was about. It wasn't about anything else, but she's charging $350 for a 50-minute session.
Right.
Session.
Right. And like, and before we go, another thing is like the insurance thing. If somebody has insurance, right, and they go through their insurance and they search you up, the insurance is going to pay you. So you could take private clients that pay you, and you could also take insurance. Like, it just does not make sense.
Well, no. So here's the deal. She can't take insurance. So that's part of her lie. She can't take insurance because she's not a therapist. Insurance.
No, I know. But I'm saying that like that was why her lie got caught because the insurance companies would be paying you directly. So why would you not want to take private like cash and insurance? You get what I'm saying?
Well, I know with insurance though, let's say she charged $350. Insurance would never pay her $350. Even with your insurance, they have contracted rates. I only know because after they pay your bill, you can go online and it'll say contracted rate. So you know how you go to the doctor and they may say my rate is $750. The insurance company is not paying them that. Their contracted rate may be $200. So they can say a lot of times too, the reason why they don't accept insurance because they cannot get those prices. Their price can be $1 million. The insurance company has contracted rates with providers. They only pay contracted rates. So the insurance company, they don't pay $350 for therapy. They have a contracted rate, and that's it. That's why some people will say, I'll take your insurance, but you have to pay the rest, because the insurance will only pay whatever that contracted rate is.
Oh, wow. You just educated me on that.
Yeah. They don't pay. They don't give a damn what you charge. They pay the contracted rate. And that's that. Well, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Tomorrow, back here again at 4:00. See you, Kyle. Thanks for joining.
Take care, Lakeysha.
You too. Bye-bye. All right, y'all. We're gonna get up out of here. Like I said, I'll see y'all tomorrow. We're gonna let Cheyenne Bryant take us out with her nasty day.
Spilling tea, no sugar, no fear. They talk loud, but I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk lives right here. Spilling tea, no sugar, no fear. I'm still here, no fear, but I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk lives right here. Stretch words like da 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 da. Spilling tea, no sugar, no fear. They talk loud, but I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk lives right here. Spilling tea, no sugar, no fear. But I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk lives right here. Stretch words like da 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 da. Spilling tea, no sugar, no fear. They talk loud, but I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk lives right here. Spilling tea, no sugar, no fear. But I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk lives right here. Stretch words like